Hope when you take that jump, you don't feel the fall. Hope when the water rises, you built a wall. Hope when the crowd screams out, you're screaming your name. Hope if everybody runs, you choose to stay.
With the Florida Football Challenge, like I said, we have a vision. It's a character development program to help kids make good decisions on and off the field. And our mission is for kids to be in control of their own destiny. We have core values: respectful, responsible, and readiness.
And I hope that you don't suffer, but take the pain. Hope when the moment.
I first heard about the Florida Football Challenge by a coach that passed away, Coach Cummings. He's the one, like, I met him because my freshman year, I was playing football, and he told me about it because I was just a freshman going into it, and I looked up to people like Andre and them, and they were doing it, like it was their second year. So he said, Kent, you should go by. So I did it for my first year, and it helped me a lot. It was very exciting, actually. I loved it.
Jason was an unbelievable man who gave his entire life to the city of Fall River and its youth. To see the football challenge every year, to see the youth that it benefited. It was a safe environment to go to learn friendship and team building and exercise.
He was an amazing brother who was my mentor, protector, and friend. He had a natural ability to inspire and motivate others. Jason had an intuitive sense on how to connect with people of all ages and abilities. He inspired you to be your best and never give up.
I swear I live every broken home. I swear I did it all. I did it all.
The impact that he has had on all of us is immeasurable. The impact that he's had on the student athletes of Durfee High School since I've been associated with Durfee has just been remarkable. And I know that Jay has always been there for everybody in this community.
We have a vision. It's to help kids make good decisions on and off the field, and to help them choose the path to their future. It's a great program. We have core values: respectful, responsible, readiness, and they get to interact. It's more than just football. It's a life thing.
So if there is one thing that we can do, all of us, is care half as much as Jason did for our alma mater, for the city that we love, and the people that we love.
Good morning and welcome to Mac Aldrich Field at Durfee High School. We begin this year's broadcast on a somber note as we remember one of Durfee's own who passed away just before the start of the 2013 season. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I'm Evan Massoud, joined by Mitch Lown. Today, we remember and dedicate this broadcast in memory of Jason Cummings, a former player and coach turned mentor not only to Durfee athletes, but to athletes across the Spindle City. In just a few moments, we will be heading down to the field for a special dedication in Jason's memory. But first, Mitch, let's talk a little bit of football.
Great. Well, I'll tell you, the Hilltoppers have struggled all year mightily. That's no surprise. Everyone knows it. But, again, as we spoke earlier, the records, you can throw those out the window when it comes to Thanksgiving Day game. New Bedford struggled as well, so I'm looking forward to an entertaining game, hopefully high scoring on our end.
That would be fun. All right, headlines today. Mitch, why don't you take it away?
Yep, we have two things to discuss. First, kind of a historic losing streak. Durfee has only one win in the last 3+ seasons. They went 0 for last year. They're 0 for this year. But we're going to turn that around today, hopefully. We don't need another winless season. We need to pick it up, maybe get some momentum going into next year. Also, we haven't won going back 7 years now on Thanksgiving. We'd like to turn that around as well, and I think we'll do that today.
That would be great. Durfee is certainly hungry for a win. Also hungry for turkey, but first we got some football to get to, right?
Absolutely.
So let's start with the home team. As you said, a winless season so far. They're 0 for their last 27. The numbers are not pretty, but they are hungry for a win. Have you ever seen anything like this?
I was on a winless team at Durfee, and we did rebound, the next year. But this is going on, like you said, historic losing streaks. For a school that prides itself on tradition and winning, we need to turn it around, and it's got to be done soon.
At this time, we're going to head down to the field for a special ceremony in memory of Jason Cummings. So we turn it over to public address announcer Cliff Ponte.
He was the founder of the Durfee Football Challenge, outstanding Durfee athlete, and an amazing advocate and friend of Durfee athletics. At this time, I would like to introduce Jan Coet to begin this special ceremony.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you all for joining us today. I want to thank Mayor Flanagan, Superintendent Meg Mayo-Brown, Principal Paul, hello, as well as all city councilors, school committee members, and friends for all of your support. Thank you also to everyone who donated their time and money to make this monument a reality. This monument has been created to remember our friend, Jason Cummings. Jason was devoted to his hometown. He loved being a hilltopper. He volunteered many hours to help improve the lives of his fellow hilltoppers on and off the field. My hope is that this monument will serve as a place where all who enter this field will find strength, confidence, and peace. Thank you all. Got that, I got it. And if at this time, Mayor Flanagan would like to say a few words. Thank you very much.
Mrs. Coet, I just want to say thank you very much and wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, and to be here at the Jason P. Cummings Memorial as the Stone Reeds coach and co-founder of the Fall River Football Challenge. Jason did so much for our community and for our youth, and to be here today, I say to the Durfee football team, let's win this one for Jason.
And now just a few words from Chris Borges, co-founder as well.
Hey guys, when Jay and I started this 4 years ago, it started off as a football clinic, and over time it turned into a character development program. In the back of the stone, it reads one heartbeat, one team, respectful, responsible, and readiness. Those are the core values of the Fall River Football Challenge. Is what we try to instill in all our youth. Now this game's already ready to start, and I'm going to start it off with Coach Cummings and how he used to get you guys get going. All ready?
Well, Mitch, I think the mayor said it best. The Hilltoppers are hungry for a win. Let's go out and win this game in front of your home crowd for Jay.
Yep. I had the privilege of coaching Jason when I was assistant at Durfee back in the early 90s. And, it's a tragedy, but you grow and you learn. And his memory won't be forgotten, especially now with that monument as you enter the stadium here. They got to win today for Jay. Very emotional here. Players emotional, some of the fans. We're going to do it for Jason today.
And the nice thing is in where the dedication is placed, teams in the future will be passing it
absolutely
right before
outside
every
the locker
game.
room. Yep, you're right.
Well, we're going to switch back to some of the on-the-field pregame stuff we had started to discuss. And we discussed that Hilltoppers have had a rough string of luck. It's not gone well for them. I had the opportunity to sit down with Victor Pereira, the AD from Durfee, recently, and he spoke about how significant this rivalry is between the two schools.
For us, Thanksgiving Day usually is that last game of the season. With the traditional playoffs, it really didn't matter because of our Thanksgiving Day game. With this new proposal, we always wanted to keep that tradition. We chose only to play New Bedford one time on a schedule instead of playing them weeks 1 through 7 and then play Thanksgiving. I thought it would take away from the tradition. So we just strictly kept it, that Thanksgiving Day game, Durfee, New Bedford. And I think that's the right choice to make because of that rich tradition. It probably was one of the oldest traditions in the country of particular high school rivalries in football.
Absolutely. So the intensity on the field will probably be at the same level, if not maybe even higher, because Durfee's anxious for a win.
Oh, absolutely. That hopefully if we are winless, Thanksgiving is always that extra, you want to bring to the table. One, because of the rivalry, and two is we're going to try to get a win.
Victor said it best.
Absolutely.
And it's it's on everybody's mind is Durfee's hungry for a win. Let's leave it all on the field and just play your hearts out.
Yeah, I mean they have nothing. They have nothing to lose. You got to leave all the jerseys on the field. They're coming in winless, as we've said numerous times. So today is the day that you just let it all hang out, pull out every trick play, and get the win. So we'll see what happens.
Now on the other side, the Whalers come into the game 4-6, and they could win the Big Three outright if they win today. So a lot on the line for New Bedford. They didn't get off to a good start. They lost 4 of their first 5 games, but 2 middle of the season back-to-back home wins against Brockton and Dartmouth really helped turn around this team. And it's a young team.
Yeah, and the Brockton game was shocking to me. Brockton came into that game a little bit of a roll. And New Bedford just, they ground out a win, they won by a couple of points. And again, going for the Big Three title. I don't know what that means anymore, but, with 3 teams in that league. So we'll see what happens.
And the Big Three is definitely a unique situation. We'll certainly discuss that during the game because it is very unique compared to any other leagues around here.
Well, I mean, they created it back in the day when, the Hilltoppers were strong, the Whalers were strong, and the Boxers were strong. No one wanted to play any of us. But unfortunately, those times have changed. So I think they need to rethink the Big Three as well.
Now, one thing I think is safe to say, and actually you already touched on it, is statistics go right out this window on Thanksgiving Day because anything can happen when these two teams hit the field.
And it usually does. They save some special plays. Both sides do, which they probably didn't run all year. Just a new look, maybe get a score, halfback pass, something like that. So, I'm interested to see what the Hilltoppers have today.
Well, we're not alone in feeling that same way about stats. New Bedford AD Michael.
What I can tell you is that both teams are going to play hard. Again, I have a long history at New Bedford. I have great memories, of being in this school and being in this gym, and I know being a basketball guy that you can throw the win-loss out the door. I know both teams will play hard. It's not just a great relationship. I consider it a healthy relationship. You hear about different schools, not only in Massachusetts but throughout the country, who have to hire a ton of security, because there's problems between communities. One great thing that the principal, Paul Marshall, has done here, he started a breakfast that both schools, get together before the Thanksgiving Day game, and we alternate. Whoever's home, hosts the breakfast. This year, my headmaster, myself, my coach, and my captains will be coming over. And I think that he does a great job, and we do a great job in not just promoting the rivalry, but having it be a healthy one, having the kids respect each other, on and off the field, and that's why you rarely hear of any problems between two great cities, two great schools, two great traditions, because we work at it.
And as Mike said, it's great to see that with this breakfast, both schools kind of have that mutual respect for each other as well.
Yeah, that's it's an interesting thing that I did not know they were doing. It's a great idea. It just breeds respect in this intense rivalry. Having played against Michael when he was an assistant basketball coach at New Bedford High, just a great guy. He knows the rivalry. He respects it. And the kids have a lot to learn from Michael in regards to that. So I still want to beat him, but.
Yeah. Well, as we mentioned in the open, this year's game will be in memory of Jason Cummings, a former player and coach who passed away at age 39 just before the start of this season. The Hilltoppers honored him with a candlelight vigil, and they dedicate this season to him. And just moments ago, we saw the ceremony for a special memorial that has been dedicated in Jason's name as well. We're going to take a short time out, and we're going to hear from New Bedford as our pregame show continues. You're watching Thanksgiving Day Football on Fred TV. Stay with us. Welcome back to Mac Aldridge Field at Durfee High School. I'm Evan Massoud for Thanksgiving Day Football, joined by Mitch Lown, and now joined by Chris Santos from New Bedford Cable Network. Chris, great to have you here with us.
Well, thanks. I'm happy to be here. I thought I was going to be able to do what you're doing right now and have the headset on, but it didn't work out that way. But I'm glad to be here and joining you guys for Thanksgiving morning football.
Great. Glad to have you.
Chris, talk about the game. What do you think is going to happen today?
Well, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. New Bedford can score, but they can also give up points. And if Durfee can take advantage of it, and, high school football, it can come down to turnovers and flags. And if it goes in the way of the Hilltoppers, they could pull this game off and get their first win of the season. So New Bedford's going to have to play a good, disciplined game. And sometimes they have, sometimes they haven't. They got off to a tough start early in the season. Then they changed it around. And when they changed it around, things went really well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Anything can happen. At this time, we go down to the field as both marching bands are playing. And this is one of the great things that we see New Bedford and Durfee playing together, showing that respect for each other.
Well, it was great to watch New Bedford stay on the sidelines when they had the Cummings ceremony, and New Bedford was there. Coach Golden is a real good guy on that, and he made sure his players were there for that dedication, so that was very nice.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned about points being given up. It's true. Both teams are giving up about the same. I think it was about 30 or 31 points a game. So, if the defenses are not playing right up to par, this could be a very offensive battle here.
Yeah, well, New Bedford made a switch there in Game 3. They decided to change the quarterback and put the Bros in a running quarterback. Then they went to a two-headed monster with Hector Diaz along with Jonathan Moraes. And once they started doing that, the points started scoring more. Mm-hmm. Their problem is they haven't been able to stop the run. They have great skill players in the defensive back positions, so I think they do okay against the pass. But in the middle, in the line, compared to the linebackers, that's when they've had their most difficult. So if Durfee can run the ball, it's going to be a high-scoring affair. And in these conditions, you usually want to run the ball.
And Brian DeMello for Durfee has had a great season running the ball, so perhaps we see him with a big game.
Well, yeah, and I'm sure they're going to find a way to get that ball to that Korea kid, because that's a kid that seems to be outstanding for Durfee. And expect to have some trickery in that game. Find a way to get him the ball, whether it's a screen or reverse or something. You got to get your best players active, and I think that's what they want to do here on Thanksgiving morning.
Yeah, Chris, I couldn't agree more. He's a very, very exciting player. They have to find a way as much as they can. Obviously, they want to establish some sort of run, but you have to get this gentleman involved with in the game plan. He's exciting, he's fast, he can go up and catch the ball. So I'm looking for the Hilltoppers to really concentrate on getting him.
Yeah, maybe even like special teams, punt returns, kickoff returns. I mean, you want your best athletes. For him, He wants to have an outstanding game. We know he can catch it. It's just can they get it to him and how are they going to do it? And I'm sure Dennis Golden on the opposite side and says, hey, listen, I got to put my best cover man against him. We got to watch this kid. He's a guy that can, maybe get over 200 yards in one game and really take it to us. So I'm sure his defense will be ready for it. But again, I think it's about establishing the run first if you're Durfee, because I think they're going to be able to score on New Bedford.
I think that whichever team scores first is going to have a big advantage in this game as well, just mentally. Never mind the score, but it's going to be, I think, a big mental advantage in such a big game.
I think you're right there. I think that will be one, and after play catch up. But New Bedford's been games like that. The last game, 45-45 to Weymouth, up by 14, down by 14, back and forth. So they're used to that. That's not really going to bother them. I think what's going to really take it for New Bedford is the turnovers and the penalties, and that's kind of killed them sometimes and shot them in the foot this year. But if they can, establish that and go and be on the positive side at the end of this game, then they'll probably have a victory.
Well, we are just moments away from kickoff. You see the captains at midfield as they're getting ready for the coin toss for New Bedford. We have Guillermo Novoa, Tyler Jacobs, and Sam DeJesus. For the Hilltoppers, Joe Hanin, Jonathan Torres, Josue Andre Rodas Lopez, and Cody Lapointe.
Number 16, Joseph Hennehy. Number 58, Andre Torres. Number 76, Cody Lapointe. At this time, both captains are at the center of the field for the coin toss. Led by referee is Charlie Ashley.
Durfee will receive the ball on the opening kickoff, and that is just what the Hilltoppers want. They want to come out and score first, and they will have the opportunity to do so.
Well, Mitch and Evan, you remember a few years ago, we had a wild game up here, and they were scoring points from everywhere. And I got a feeling it's going to be that same kind of game. It was the same kind of temperature, same sun out, all that kind of stuff. If it's anything like that, what we saw in that game, it's going to be an exciting game, yeah.
That's for sure, Chris. And at this time, we're going to stay pointed towards the field as both marching bands will have the playing of the national anthem.
Once again, good morning and happy Thanksgiving. Ladies and gentlemen, fans, students, seniors, and their parents, as well as New Bedford, we ask you to please rise. Remove your hats and your helmets and direct your attention to the field as Durfee High School and New Bedford join together to play your national anthem.
Great job by both schools. We'll have the kickoff and all the action for you next, right here on Fred TV. Don't go anywhere. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We are ready for kickoff. Durfee won the toss and will receive on the opening kickoff. The players are getting ready to take the field. I'm Evan Massoud, joined by Mitch Lown. This should be a fun game, Mitch.
Yeah, Durfee really needs to establish some sort of running game early, maybe open up the passing game for Mike Correa, and looking forward to a high-scoring affair here today.
Should be. What a difference a day makes. Yesterday with basically a monsoon here in Fall River. The good news is that we have an artificial surface here, and there's no mud.
Yeah, I played in a game like yesterday's weather, my junior year here at Durfee, and it was a quagmire out there. It was awful. That's when we had the old turf, but beautiful day today. Nice dry surface. So looking forward to some good football by the Toppers and the Whalers.
You said it. Beautiful day. Game time temperature is 32 degrees with a strong wind, so passing game could be a bit difficult. We'll see what happens here. Durfee on the opening kickoff. Still on his feet. That's number 2, Colby Cabral, with a nice return. He's taken down right about the 35-yard line, so Durfee with decent field position to begin this game.
For Durfee from about the 36.
The Hilltoppers line up for their first snap of the game. Starting quarterback for the Hilltoppers is sophomore Jaron Vieira. Started games halfway through this season. The pass is completed, but there is a flag on the field. So it is a penalty on Durfee.
Hilltoppers.
Well, they came out trying to establish some sort of passage game there in the very first play, a little screen action.
Yeah, that pass was intended for number 25, Elijah Brooks, and it was completed, but the penalty will bring it back. The hold is a 10-yard penalty, so now it'll be 1st and 20 for the Hilltoppers. That basically eliminates the return on the kickoff.
Yep, they got a nice little return there. Now, first play of the game, they got a penalty to push them back a little bit.
Going to hand it off on 1st and 20. That's Brian DeMello, number 21. He's been a great playmaker for this team this season, and he picks up about 16 yards on his first carry of the day.
Yep, and that was a heck of a block by number 2, Colby Cabral, on the outside. He freed him up, got an extra 5-6 yards on that play.
Appears to be a 2nd and a long 3 for the Hilltoppers.
So the Hilltoppers erase the penalty and more, and it'll be 2nd and about 3 from inside the 40.
From the 46.
Yep, big play here. See if we can get into New Bedford territory.
That's for sure. I don't want to be out too early on offense. Want to get the rhythm going.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be a little bit shy.
Yeah, maybe about a yard. That was a pass completed to captain number 16, Joseph Hanin.
Number 16, Joseph Hanin.
Yeah, looks like he's about a half a yard short.
So it'll be 3rd and 1.
About a yardage, so third down,
maybe even just a little bit less than that. So 3rd and short coming up for Durfee.
5-yard line. We'll show here 45. 3rd down for the Hilltoppers.
Come out and got the I formation here. A little split backfield.
Michael Correa on the near side. We mentioned him in the pregame. He could be a weapon. Vieira's going to hand it off to DeMello. And he is going to be stopped just shy of the first down.
Brian DeMello on the carry. We'll see where the spot is.
He's going to be about a half a football short, it looks like. It's right in front of us.
That's a good spot, but it will be short. So an interesting decision here early. Durfee's in their own territory.
I'd go for it myself, you know.
I would too. I mean, why not, right? You got to go for broke on Thanksgiving. And as you said, Durfee has nothing to lose right now.
You know, it's been a long season. You know, let's get a little momentum, get a first down on the opening drive. You know, I think you have to go for it.
And they will bring the chains out as well. And it's interesting, we mentioned, Chris Santos mentioned about the run. Last season, Durfee came out passing, and I think they surprised everybody because they had a lead on Thanksgiving at the half.
Yeah.
So they were ahead last season in New Bedford, and that was because they were coming out passing the ball, which I don't think anybody expected.
No, that was a breakout game, I believe, too, for my career. I just don't know if... I don't understand the call. Nope, they are going for it.
They're going to go for it. It's 4th and inches. 4th and short here for the Hilltoppers. Ball at the 46. So almost at midfield. And this is one of those plays. It's early, but this could make or break the game right here.
I think they may try to draw him off sides.
And now we're going to have a timeout.
Timeout taken by the New Bedford Whalers. It appears to be a full timeout.
Maybe not liking their defensive scheme against the offensive unit.
Yeah, it was a strange formation that Durfee came out in there, and I think it confused New Bedford a little bit. I don't think this Durfee was going to go for it necessarily. I think maybe they were trying to draw New Bedford offsides.
Absolutely. New Bedford's head coach is Dennis Golden. Hilltoppers head coach LeJean Jones.
High School's football field. We'd like to thank Chibang for organizing this special event, which exemplifies
good crowd coming in, Evan. It's starting to file in a little bit.
That is so much a part of Jay's daily life.
Absolutely. We didn't have too many early arrivals this year, considering how cold it is compared to yesterday. Yesterday was so mild, even with the rain. We got a brisk wind, and as we said, right at freezing, 32 degrees. It's cold. It's even colder on that field, but the players don't feel it. 4th and 1.
Oh, you got it.
And the Hilltoppers have fumbled the ball. It is recovered by number 7, Henry Sesteo for the Whalers. There's a flag down as well.
Yeah,
all kinds of commotion on 4th down.
They thought Durfee did lose the ball. I think the flags are blocking the back on the exchange of possession there.
That's for sure. It'll most likely be Whalers football, and this is one of those things that has really plagued Durfee over the past 2 seasons. Bad turnovers.
Yeah, that's a killer. You just cannot give the ball up, especially in your own territory.
As we said, a play that could make or break this game. And right there, that eliminates Durfee's kickoff, winning the coin toss and keeping the ball. So now New Bedford will take over.
First down for New Bedford.
The flag will bring them back actually into their own territory, so maybe a little bit of help there for.
Yeah, a little reprieve for Durfee there with the penalty.
So New Bedford's offensive unit will take the field for the first time in the game.
Wide open.
Pass
intended for Kevin Noon's number 5. That was a great pass up the middle, and no good.
Wide open, coming across on a little in route there. Ball hit him right in the hands. Got to catch that one.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 from about the 47. We're joined again here in the booth by Chris Santos from New Bedford Cable Network. Chris, great to have you back up here with us.
Great first possession for Durfee. Had an opportunity to get the first down. Fortunately, we couldn't see how it came out, but it was a fumble on the play, and New Bedford with their second down.
Whalers looking to run it. They hand it off to number 25, Jonathan Moraes, and he picks up about 18 yards on that carry.
Number 25, Jonathan Morris on the carry for the
So it's a first down for the Whalers.
Jonathan Torres had him wrapped up in the backfield. He just didn't take him down. He broke the tackle and big gain there.
And Mitch, we talked about in the pregame penalties and turnovers, and already you saw the first play, the penalty that really put him back, and then you saw obviously the turnover. In high school football, and you've been there, Mitch, you know those are big things.
Yeah, you can't keep shooting yourself in the foot time and time again. You can't dig yourself out of the hole.
Absolutely. The Hilltoppers probably should have at least 3 wins this season, but costly fourth quarter turnovers on their last possession, and it's killed them.
There is a penalty marker on the field.
That looked like it would have been a fumble, but the flag comes in and the whistles are blown. And it's a false start on New Bedford.
And good for New Bedford because that was a fumble there, and it saw 2 black jerseys ready to pounce on it. So again, factors of flags and turnovers, but New Bedford survives one there, so it'll bring up 1st and 15.
I think you're seeing a lot of opening drive jitters on both teams.
Could be the cold as well, right? It's going to be hard to hold that football with the wind and the temperatures.
Well, if they take the gloves off, I've never been a proponent for that. So.
We got a 1st and 15, hands it off to, that's Jonathan Moraes, number 25. And he'll gain about 3 or 4 on that carry. Brings it out of bounds about the 45.
Now, Evan, I mean, you talk about even center exchange, something in this cold weather, just getting the snap to go back, whether you're under center, whether you're in the shotgun. I mean, the wind can move the ball. We've seen it in the pros, we've seen it in high school football. So anything can happen. You saw it there a couple of times already, so you have to be careful in games like this.
Well, you saw the win the other night in the Patriots game.
Absolutely.
Great example.
Absolutely. So that was a pickup of about 3 yards, and I correct myself, taken out about the 37. Nice block by Moraes in the back. And that helps New Bedford get to the 30 or thereabouts.
Number 12, Chandler DeBras on the carry.
Looks like it'll be 3rd and 6 coming up.
And when Dennis Golden made the change to go with DeBras, Mitch, instead of Brandon Costa, that was one of the reasons right there. He's able to run that option and be a keeper quarterback that can run with the ball. And that's when things started changing for New Bedford and got more wins and got more points on the board.
That's when you freeze the defense. It's a great ball fake. You don't know where the quarterback's got it, the running back. He gets to the outside. He picked up positive yardage.
And I think it's interesting. We're seeing this more and more working its way into the NFL with guys like Cam Newton and Colin Kaepernick. This time Moraes will carry, and the Hilltoppers stop him shy of the first down.
Chris, I mean, you follow New Bedford. You're there for the games. What kind of kicking game do they have?
Not that great. I mean, we played the other day when we played Weymouth. We missed the extra point, and then Weymouth came down, went for 2, got it, and won the game by a point. So it's nothing to write home about. But yet, we've seen them make a couple of field goals. Usually it's the brass that they have the confidence in to do it.
And with this wind, there's no way they're going to kick. They're going for it. It's 4th down territory. We have 4th and 5 from about the 30-yard line, and we're going to have a timeout on the field.
Well, last year the read option came into effect in the NFL, and teams had defensively really struggled with that. And it's amazing how fast it's come down to college, how fast it's come down to high school football. And if you're a defensive guy, you got to be able to find a way to stop it. If you're offensive, you want a quarterback that's able to read it, like a Newton and a Kaepernick, to able to make those decisions and read it. Should I give it? Should I pull it away? And again, in high school football, that exchange last minute, that's where all the fumbles come in. And I'm sure you guys have seen it this year because we have out in New Bedford.
It's funny you bring that up. I mean, the defenses, they have to change and to what the offense does. In the NFL, you can see, I mean, Kaepernick's not doing nearly what he did last year, too. So you adjust, and that's what it's all about.
After the timeout, 4th and 5 for New Bedford. Looking to pass on 4th down. Pressure coming to quarterback Chandler DeBrossi. And it is incomplete. The Hilltoppers will take over on downs.
Well, the New Bedford went, instead of the read option, they went spread it out, 3 on the right, 2 on the left. DeBras had time. I thought he was going to run a little bit more, Mitch. He had plenty of room to make a better throw to get it to him. You know, that's just an experience, whether to make it when you should and when you shouldn't. He did the wrong choice there. Turnover on downs. That's a nice defensive stand for Durfee.
Yeah, he had the receiver wide open along that New Bedford sideline there. If you would have taken
Hilltoppers still within their own territory. First down and
He seemed to
10
have slowed
from
up
the
just a little bit, and that
29-yard
cost
line.
the first down. So Durfee takes over. Looks to be Michael Correa in motion, almost taken down in the backfield, and he will indeed go down
On the
in the
carry, number
backfield.
10,
You said it in the opening, you're trying to get the ball to their best player. New Bedford, lying in wait there.
Well, New Bedford has seen that jet sweep from other teams, and what they do is they take an extra safety, and as soon as that guy goes in motion, that safety goes in motion, and it's his responsibility to get there too. So New Bedford has seen that play many a times, but I'm sure they still want to get the ball to Correa somehow.
Yep, they're going to shadow him, it looks like. And if I was Dennis Golden, I would do the same. You're going to negate, what he's going to do for you on the field. So.
Second down now for
It was a little bit
the
difficult when Jordan Taubman played for Dartmouth, and that's how New Bedford tried to slow him down, but you know where he is right now.
Exactly.
Well, it was a loss of 8 on that play, and very similar to last year's game. New Bedford is ready for the running game, so perhaps Durfee tries to pass here. Pressure coming to Vieira. He's going to throw it.
An incomplete pass.
It is incomplete, so now third and long, third and 18 or so coming up.
Again, they're looking for Mike Correa along the sideline here. Ball is a little bit underthrown.
And Dennis Golden has number 9, Hunter Flugel, seems to be the man that's going to shadow number 18 and be with him all day. And very physical matchup out there because there was a lot of bumping and shoving getting off the line.
So Durfee will huddle. They have third and 18 coming up. Just under 4.5 to play here in the first quarter, and this is going to be quite a stretch to get this first down for Durfee. Needs to go off that bag of tricks.
Usually screens and draws here. Here it comes.
Pressure coming
He's
again.
looking for it.
Little floater, and it's going to be picked off by the Whalers.
That's a touchdown.
That's a touchdown for New Bedford. Number 42, Tyler Jacobs, a captain and a senior for this year. And the Whalers lead it just like that, 6-0.
Well, Mitch, I'm not a defensive coordinator, but I knew it was coming, and you can see it unfolding.
Yep.
He just should have never made the throw.
No,
it wasn't open at all.
I don't know what he was. I don't know what he saw out there, but all I saw was a bunch of white shirts.
Yep, the little
there's
floater,
no
you
one
called it,
even there.
Chris, picked off by Tyler Jacobs, and the Whalers are out to the 6-0 lead. It looks like they're going to try for the extra point, even in this wind.
And once again, the dreaded turnover costing the Hilltoppers quickly here.
Exactly,
in
that's
the
two
first
now.
quarter.
2 in the first quarter, and that hurts. The first one they were able to escape, and this one, New Bedford knew they had the momentum on their side. A third and 18, it's do or die on offense.
Set to kick the extra point.
Number
for the New
12,
Bedford
Chandler
Whalers.
DeBrasi, the quarterback, going for the extra point kick, and the kick is up. The kick
And the
is
extra
good.
point is good for
So,
the Whalers. 7-0.
4:15 on the
New
clock
Bedford.
in the first quarter. New Bedford Whalers 7, Durfee Hilltoppers 0.
Well, it's something that I thought New Bedford, as you said, who can score first, Evan? And if you're New Bedford and you're Dennis Golden, to do it defensively is pretty special. And again, you're creating turnovers. That pumps up your offense and says, hey, our guys are playing on the opposite side. Now we need to make some plays when we get the ball back. So if you're Durfee, you got to realize you got to find a way to get some positive yards on first down. It's 2 times now, 3rd and 18 on that particular play. And you don't want to be set up in those long situations. Anything 3rd and 4, that's nice. Or, 2nd and 7, 2nd and 6.
4 minutes, 15 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Hopefully this is a wake-up call
For
for the
the New Bedford
Hilltoppers, too.
Whalers
They came
is
down, they
going
got
to be
smacked
number
in the mouth.
12,
They turned
Chandler
the ball
DeBras.
over for a touchdown.
Set deep
So,
for the
they
Durfee
can't get down on
Hilltoppers.
themselves. They're getting the ball right back and see if they can get some positive yardage going.
And the problem is,
number 2,
Mitch
Kobe
and Chris,
Cabral.
is that with Durfee on such a historic losing streak, every little thing is going to be magnified. So they need to put this behind them and just forget about it. Pretend it's a 0-0 game and go out and drive down this field.
It's not that you have to play the perfect game, but you definitely have to eliminate the flags, the turnovers, and the negative plays, because it's just going to bring you down. And with the 2 turnovers already and the flags, and you're going backwards, you need something to spark you. Maybe
Exactly.
Correa right here could do a little something to spark them.
And it's part of the game. Obviously, we see that in all levels. Penalties and turnovers are part of the game. You just got to find a way to limit them. That's number 10, Trevellis Oliver, with the carry on the return, and he'll take it across the 30.
Oh, he's down, too.
And he's down. He went down kind of lame there, and he appears to be in a little bit of pain. Getting up under his own power, but a noticeable limp. Maybe rolled an ankle.
We'll try to pick it up on the replay here. He does a good job of getting by the first man. He got clipped a little bit.
He has
Let's
good
see
legs.
where he rolls up.
Just went down awkwardly there.
Must have lost his footing in the turf, and we'll keep an eye on that.
So the Hilltoppers will begin their third drive of the game from about the 34, 33-yard line with 4:08 on the clock. And they'll hand it off on first down. That looked to be Brian DeMello, and he is going to be stopped for negative yardage, it appears.
Yeah, looks like he lost about a half a yard. The Toppers are trying to establish some sort of run up the middle. I don't know if that's, the wisest move right now. I think they got to get, outside the tackles and, get a little north-south.
Well, New Bedford has been known to give up, off-tackle runs. And so for them, they really need to put 8 in the box, and that's what they look like they've done to try to slow it down a little bit. Look, you see the middle of the field wide open.
Yeah, there's no one
there. That's
there.
what they want to do.
2 wide receivers on the near side here. Shuffle pass to DeMello on 2nd and 11. Oh, goes
big hit
head
there.
over heels and makes it just about to the line of scrimmage, maybe just a gain of about a yard or so.
Now watch Henry Sesteo right here, number 7. See how he shucks that block? See, that's going to be a better block from the receiver. Then he comes up and makes a big play. So right there, number 2, Colby Cabral needs to do a better job of really taking him, because that could have been a pretty big gain if he makes that block.
Sideline was open.
It was wide open.
And DeMello would have been running a while.
Well, they had the blitz coming from the outside linebacker, and then that's when he made the pitch, and that's where that room would have been. That receiver makes one block. That's a good at least 20 to 25-yard gain.
And Colby knows better than that. His dad's one of the assistant coaches and one of my former teammates, so I'm sure when they watch this one, he'll hear a little bit.
We have a 3rd and 8 coming up for the Hilltoppers, coming up on 2.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Going to pass on 3rd down. They have DeMello, and he is stuffed by number
Flag
15,
down.
Andrew Raposa, but there is a penalty marker on the field.
A
We'll
great
await the
defense
call.
by New Bedford there.
Absolutely.
Well, again, Flugel, man on Correa, really in his face, so he's not letting 18 get loose. They went underneath. They will be holding on Durfee. Probably decline it, and New Bedford should get the ball.
And they're probably getting good field position. We'll be kicking right into that teeth of that wind. So, as a former punter, you got to get that nose of the ball down.
Yep.
Absolutely. The wind is blowing, coming up from the south, blowing north and east. Very strong, gusty wind. And indeed, the offense is coming off the field. So 4th and 8 is essentially what it would be.
And Mitch, when you mean about keeping the ball low, when you were punting and against the wind, what are you looking for? Not a good follow through?
Well, I mean, you don't want to get it up in the air.
Yep.
You want to keep the nose of the ball down so it's cutting through the wind.
Yep.
Because once it gets up there, it can do anything.
Sure.
A low line drive.
Not that low,
Yeah.
but
They're getting a favorable bounce, though. And it'll be down right about the 40. So probably as good as you'd get, because if it went straight up in the air, the wind would have knocked it
Sure,
down.
I mean, and you look at a kick like that, that could hit a white jersey or a white helmet.
Right.
And the next
It's-
thing you know,
that's right, it's a
you
live
can
ball.
get the ball. It's a live ball. So, again, it's field position, and New Bedford's got good field position right now, and things are going their way so far in this first half, and they want to get more points on the board, obviously.
Durfee, you got to try to, pin the whalers back a little bit. I mean, their drives are starting, positive on the 40-yard line, going our way. So, it's just a matter of time that, they're going to break a big one here.
Passing on first down, number 5, Kevin Nunes with the ball. He has some room as he's across midfield, taken down at the 40. The ball is loose, and it is picked up by number 54.
Big opportunity.
Eric Boulay Jr.
But the ball should go back to the spot, right, Mitch? Because it can't advance forward, I believe. So once he was down there, but that's their best receiver, guys. Number 5 has been the go-to for DeBras all year. And it's nice to get him a ball, a little bubble screen from the slot position. And, again, get your impact players involved.
The fumble brings it to the 29-yard line now.
Yeah,
for
that
the
was
Bedford Whalers. First down
quite the
and
move
10
on the
from
outside
Hilltopper
there. He
29.
faked the defender right out, ran down the sideline. But again, Durfee didn't quit. They stripped the ball. They're fighting.
But it gets, see, first down, positive yards, and that's what New Bedford gave there. That's what Durfee has not done so far in this game. They need to establish something on that first down and keep New Bedford guessing.
That was a 30-yard pickup, and now the Whalers in command here, running the ball on first down. That's number 45, Jordan Ankrum, as he takes the carry, a short gain.
A nice tackle by Brad Kilby Jr. there, number 57.
Now that play there is where New Bedford likes to set up the read where he fakes that, and then DeBross goes down the line, now runs an option off of that. So they might be setting that up to look at it from another play later on.
For the Whalers.
That's very possible, Chris, and we have a 2nd and 7 coming up, and we'll see if they stick with a similar formation. It looks like they're going to. Going to pass on 2nd down. This could be picked off. Just out of reach. That appeared to be number 11 for the defense, Justice Carone.
Number 11, Justice Carone.
And that's a good play by Carone, not biting Mick and coming up, thinking it might be a run. He stood his ground, went back, actually had an opportunity maybe to intercept it.
Yeah, a little out and up route there by New Bedford. Sometimes, you know, as a younger player, you'll bite on that, and you'll be wide open on the up the sideline.
So the incomplete pass will make it 3rd and 7 for the Whalers. And again, you have to imagine that this would be 4th down territory, especially with the wind. 29 seconds to play here in the first quarter. The score, New Bedford 7, Durfee nothing. Pressure coming.
Run with it.
And look at DeBrossi run that ball. He is down inside the 10 in the Durfee red zone, and it's a first down for New Bedford.
Well, that's containment, Mitch.
Yeah, the defensive end, that's his responsibility. You know, he's got the quarterback on that, and once he got outside, it was off to the races.
And you got to get up high enough that even if he's going to keep it, you force him back underneath where more black jerseys come in and make the play. You cannot seal and have that against you so he can take off the outside. And guys,
that outside was wide open.
You could have took that one maybe in.
That's for sure. I appreciate the confidence, Chris.
Because it was wide open. We were looking at going, wow, where's a black jersey?
Yeah,
I know. Everybody's coming near side left, and DeBrossi went off to the races. But there was a flag down, and all that we missed. Unsportsmanlike conduct is what we're hearing. Personal foul.
Obviously after the play.
And that run is basically going to be almost erased.
But it'll still be.
It's shy of a first down even.
Let's see. It's going to be.
It's
first down because it's going to be after the play.
It's post possession.
And Dennis Golden will definitely not be happy about that because he's a stickler on on his discipline as his team. So he's talking to the official right now to get an idea. Hey, what number was that and what did he do? Because I'm going to have a nice chat with him.
4 seconds to play here in the first quarter, and they'll stop the clock with 2 seconds. As there is a timeout, Durfee. So the Hilltoppers ensuring that we'll have one more play before the first quarter comes to an end. If you're just joining us, happy Thanksgiving here on Fred TV. This is Durfee New Bedford football. I'm Evan Massoud, joined by Mitch Lown and Chris Santos. Great to have you guys here with us.
Appreciate it. Good to be here.
You can see Mr.
Happy Thanksgiving to the both of you guys and everybody up here in Fall River. I know, New Bedford had the Gridiron Hall of Fame the other day, and we did that for New Bedford Cable Network, and that was a lot of fun. And everybody was looking forward to this game, as it's usually a good one. It's a rivalry that New Bedford looks forward to, and Durfee can sit back and say, listen, we can salvage a season if we find a way to get a win. And what better way to do it? Obviously, on Thanksgiving. It's even more because New Bedford beat Brockton, can be Big 3 champions, and who would want not to spoil that and be co-champs? So it just means a lot more of the game than just playing on Thanksgiving.
That's for sure. And as we said as well, with the temperatures, a lot of late arrivals, but it's so nice to see the stands on both sides packed with faculty, friends, fans alike, family, everybody. Passing on first down, it is complete to number 23, Anthony Hernandez Jr., and that should be good for a first down.
See, but I like that play, Mitch. Very conservative, out in the flat pass. Don't have to worry about the wind. Might have even been able to roll a little bit to get there. But it's something that's positive that you need on offense to get your team saying, hey, we're in the flow of things.
You know, and that's what Durfee needs to do when they have the ball. They need to try to establish some sort of momentum. New Bedford just is running all over them right now.
That's for sure. And now, with that, time has expired on the first quarter, so we will switch sides. And we'll put a fresh 11 minutes on the clock here to begin the second. It's New Bedford 7, Durfee 0. New Bedford's score came on a pick 6. It was Tyler Jacobs who picked it off and ran it back the length of the field. It was about 10 to 15 yards. And that's the only score in this one.
Yeah, it's been all New Bedford, defense, offense.
Here is that pick 6 we were talking about. It was a third down, and that little floater right there picked off by Tyler Jacobs, and he ran it back, an easy walk into the end zone.
He knew it was coming, Mitch. You could see in that play. He was actually holding up, and then he came in.
So here we go. We'll begin the second quarter. First and goal for the Whalers. And they'll hand it off to number 25. That's Jonathan Morace.
Oh,
there's a flag down.
That's a block in the back right
there. 2 flags down.
Kevin Noon's a little block in the back from his wide receiving position. And again, a receiver that's letting the defensive back get by his block and get to the running back.
Yeah, it's, I mean, that's wide receiver 101 right there, D-back too. I mean, you can't allow that receiver to get out there and get his hands on you. Unfortunately for New Bedford, you know, got it on the back, but, you know, Durfee's just, the mental breakdowns are there.
Well, the Hilltop of defense right now has to be guessing, Mitch. We've run inside, we've gone outside, we've passed in the flat, we've gone long, we've done a lot of different things. So now it's like, what are they going to do next? And that's what you want to do as an offense. You want to keep them guessing, which Durfee's offense hasn't been able to do yet to keep, New Bedford on their toes.
You know, that's all preparation too. So we'll see how prepared the Hilltoppers are on the defensive side of the ball and see what New Bedford's going to throw at them right now.
So the ball comes back 10 yards, and as you said, Coach Golden hates the flags. He's not going to be happy about that one either. So it ends up being first and goal from the 20 for the Whalers as we replay first down. A little shuffle pass, and he is tripped up in the backfield. That was Morace again. Couldn't get to the outside, and that's a loss of yardage. So second and long coming up.
I mean, even with the turf, I mean, it may be a little slick out there too, so, you know, from all the rain we had yesterday.
Sure, and the cold ground makes it a little hotter, and so that makes things a little difficult. You know, I had the opportunity to coach freshman football at New Bedford when Dennis Golden came in when Wayne Hamlet left, and I know what kind of coach Dennis Golden is, a stickler about flags and a stickler about team discipline and how they play. So I know right now that's just chewing him up, and I'm sure he's taking it out on some of the players as you see some subs coming in and out when things go wrong.
And that changes everybody's mindset because now that loss of 6 makes it 2nd and 26 now when it was first and goal from the 10. So they've been backed up 16 yards. It's a quick pass to the left side. And he's still on his feet.
Yeah, breaking tackles. You know, the Hilltop has got to wrap up on defense. Too many missed opportunities to bring the man down.
No, you got to watch here. The ball's going to be passed into the slot. Two defensive backs are going to come up, but they don't make the play, Mitch.
No, not at
and
all.
You said, now watch the 2 come up, 1-2, and he gets right by the 2 of them. And that just can't happen because they read it. They knew it was coming. But as you said afterwards, they didn't wrap up.
No, they didn't make the play. They read it. You know, they read it perfectly.
So it's a gain of about 9. We'll have a third and goal from about the 17-yard line. But first we'll have a timeout for the Whalers.
That's their third timeout. I don't know if there's a little confusion out there, but they seem to be burning through these timeouts pretty quickly.
Well, I mean, you know, you get like 5 or 6.5, whatever it is, and, you know, in this situation here, I'm sure he's thinking it's 2 down territory. It's 3rd and 17. That's a lot to go for it on one play. So I'm sure he's thinking about the 2 plays, and sometimes you get ahead of yourself, and then it's the wrong personnel. And, you know, Mitch, you don't want to call it, but you do.
That's for sure. And as you said, Chris, anytime you're inside, say, the 30, even the 35, for the most part, it's 4th down territory.
Right, absolutely. Especially against the wind like they are now. They're going into the high school. That's where the wind is coming from. So.
at the table directly near the main.
Now, the other big part is red zone offense. What don't you want to do? You don't want to create a turnover. Because even if you don't make it, Evan, you give the Hilltopper offense 80 yards to go or 90 yards to go, and you pin them down there anyways. So it doesn't matter. You just don't want to create a turnover.
Exactly. So teams break their huddles. We have a 3rd and about 17 coming up. Whalers appear to be setting up for a pass.
And I think
and now a
Durfee
timeout for the Hilltoppers, not liking the defensive scheme here.
Well, it looked like New Bedford was coming out with the 3 on the left and 1 on the right as receivers, and I think it kind of Durfee was kind of perplexed, Mitch, and wasn't sure, gee, what am I going to do now?
Yeah, I mean, they came out, they were trips left, and they had the lone guy over here on the right sideline along the Durfee sideline, but yeah, they burned that time out. They didn't like the scheme of things. I don't know. They don't look very prepared on some of the formations that New Bedford's throwing at them right now.
Well, we'll see if the timeout helped for the Hilltoppers to maybe make some adjustments, because New Bedford's scheme, if their formation is the same. So 3rd and 17, looking to pass on 3rd down. Pressure coming. And DeBrossi's going to take it himself and call his own number. Still on his feet. There's another flag down, and it looks like he's down just shy of the goal line.
You're going to see a Durfee Hilltopper way on the sideline, and it looks like he got hammered.
Yeah, he got buried.
Let's watch it here. You're going to see him come right across. So you see the Bros on the left. Watch him. You're going to see a black jersey coming in now.
Here he comes.
Right there.
Oh, that's the penalty, too. He got blocked in the back. That's coming back.
Yep. See, I never understand that penalty from a person. If you see the numbers, Mitch, you just got to stay away from him.
Yep.
So he makes the tackle,
That's right.
You missed your assignment. Okay, you can't give up the 15 going the opposite way.
Especially, you're going to go from, 4th and...
So it's 4th and inches
goal,
from the goal line.
It will remain 3rd down with the block in the back for New Bedford.
Well, you're shooting yourself in the foot there, because, again, it'd be 4th down probably from around the 2 or 3 yard line.
And now it's going to be 3rd down. It looks like it's about the 15-yard line. So
I might have even declined that penalty. It would have been 4th down and, a couple of yards for a touchdown, but push him back a little bit.
So we replay 3rd down. Will is looking to pass again. Going to the end zone, number 25, Jonathan Morris.
That was a pretty pass.
That was number 23, Anthony Hernandez Jr.
Yep, nice little post route there, wide open across the back of the end zone.
You got to give the Bros a lot of credit there, and you got to give the offensive line, some credit, because they held them up pretty good. But in windy conditions, Mitch, that's pretty tough. That's a pretty good throw.
Yep, that was a heck of a play.
Make the catch.
Yep, offensive line kept them upright. Great route, great ball, touchdown New Bedford.
So the Whalers find the end zone offensively for the first time in the game. And it is 13-0, looking to make it 14-0 here with an extra point kick. Kicking into the wind. A bad snap, shuffle pass to DeBrossi, and he's going to have room. And it looks like he's taken down just shy of the end zone there, so no good. So it'll remain 13-0 in favor of the Whalers. With 8:27 to play, the Hilltoppers will go back on offense.
Well, one of the things you got to worry about, he can throw the ball.
Yeah,
He's a quarterback. So the thing was, I thought he was going to, and then he thought he could make it. He stepped out of bounds. I think the ball went over the cone, but he was already out. Mitch probably around the 1.5, and so the 2 points are off the board, and at least it's a positive for Durfee, and they need to do something, get something started on offense.
DeBras got up a little shaky there too at the end of the play, so keep an eye on that as well.
That's for sure. The Hilltoppers have had decent first quarters here at home and decent fourth quarters at home, but the first quarter today not going well for Durfee. In their last home game, they were shut out by Taunton, so they have not scored at home in about 4 weeks. And
yeah, that's a little
tough,
bit of a
right?
drought, yeah.
They want to get the end zone. They want to get these fans into the game. The stadium is pretty quiet right now.
Well, you've seen it now, guys, for 4 weeks, and they haven't put points on the board. In your estimation, what seems to be the problem of what they're doing right? Not establishing the run, can't get the ball, penalties, turnovers?
I think it's a combination of everything you just said.
Yep.
It's just everything is not clicking all together at once. You might see something clicking one game and see defense clicking one game, offense clicking another. they just can't seem to have everything mesh just perfectly for a full game of football. And I think that's really what's been hurting the team.
It's absolutely right. New Bedford's kicking off. We got to keep an eye on Oliver, who came up with an ankle injury in the first kickoff return.
A low kick. And he's going to take a weird bounce at about the 30, picked up by the Hilltoppers, diving across. And the ball is out of his hands.
He's down, yep.
But they're calling him down, which is a good call because the knee certainly did look like it was down from our vantage point. We'll see if we can get a replay on that. Here it comes.
That's Brad Kilby Jr. picking up the ball there in the short
See,
kickoff.
he's going to dive head first. Great angle there.
Yeah,
there it is. The knees down, elbows
Obviously
down.
The old ball the ground can't cause the fumble, and that's what you saw right there. So thank goodness for Durfee. That is a huge break. They need to have something going.
So good field position for the Hilltoppers. 1st and 10 from about the 38-yard line. And we'll see what they can do here.
8:21 to go, Mick. Plenty of time to really get something going with the offense.
That's for sure. A crooked number up on the board here.
They need to get some points on the board before the half. Can't go into the half with this game being a shutout.
See, I don't mind that play right there. That's a good positive play to try to get to the outside, roll them out in the flat, get about 4 or 5 yards on first down. Obviously, they didn't make the completion, but it's what they wanted to do.
And to be honest, we've seen the passing a lot this year, especially since Vieira has taken the helm at quarterback, and I'm surprised we haven't seen as many passes so far in this game.
And when you're always trailing from behind, too, you got to go
help.
to the throw. So, but if they're doing it, good for them.
So 2nd and 10, they'll hand the ball off. Now looks to be Brian DeMello again, and he'll scamper just across the line of scrimmage, so maybe a gain of about 1 or 2. A short gain for the Hilltoppers. And 3rd and long.
Still waiting to see something from number 18.
Yeah, Mike Correa's been real quiet.
Correa,
They targeted him once, Chris, in that opening drive, and really haven't seen, get the ball in his hands again.
So officially going to be a 3rd and 9 coming up. Timeout, Durfee.
We know he's a special athlete. We had Greg Sullivan a little bit earlier talking about this kid could get 300 yards today. I mean, he's that kind of talented and get some action, but they got to get him the ball somehow and get him involved in that offense to get something happening.
You got to free him up as well, because the problem is New Bedford's defense, as you said, one-on-one matchups against Correa has been very good so far.
Yeah, Flugel's done a pretty good job with him, number 9. He's spotting him wherever he goes. So you look where Correa is now, not even up near the line of scrimmage. So he's looking to get the ball somehow. And they're going to go trips to the left on this particular play. Looks like maybe even a screen maybe to get him the ball.
Well, here we go. 3rd and 8 coming up officially from about the 40. And it is Correa who comes down with the ball. And he has met a plethora of Whalers defenders.
You made the call there, Chris. Unfortunately for the Hilltoppers, New Bedford was waiting for it.
Yeah. I mean, again, you know they're trying to get him the ball. You can see the setup, the formation, and as a defensive coordinator, you got to be telling your kids, hey, look, we do it with our Kevin Nunes. They're probably going to do it with their Mike Correa.
Right.
So, be ready for it.
So that makes it a 4th and 6 for the Hilltoppers. And it doesn't look at this point. Yes, they're going to punt the ball. And that will be Vieira who's going to punt it away, or so it appears. You never know what's in the bag of tricks, right?
Correa's the front man there. He's passing it.
Going to pass it, and it's going to be picked off by the Whalers. Number 9, Hunter Flugel. And he is taken down inside the Durfee red zone. The 3rd turnover of the game for Durfee.
You said you never know what's going to happen, but Mitch, I just can't see you running that play there. No. I don't think there's need for it. Hey, look, take your medicine, point it away. It's only 13-0.
That's right.
Instead of now making it possibly 20-21, and still plenty of time to get the ball back and get even more.
I knew they were going to run the fake there just from where the punter was lined up. He was only about 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Usually you want to be 12 to 13 yards back. He was very, very close to the line of scrimmage.
And you would know this.
Yeah,
Former punter, Evan.
It's that bad call.
And the Whalers were ready for it.
Yeah.
Number 20 on the carry, that is Felix Plante.
See, now that was a better block there from number 5, Kevin Nunes. You saw him not let that DB get by, and look how much more yards he
Picked up
got.
another 5 yards,
Yes.
absolutely right.
In fact, it's the Whalers' first down. So first and goal now for New Bedford. And just like that, the Whalers are in command once again.
Well, if New Bedford gets in here, that's free points, I think, from Durfee giving it to him.
Yep,
I just don't think they needed to do that then.
And it is Plenty again with the carry, and it is a touchdown for the Whalers. And that'll make it 19-0. That's 13 points off turnovers so far.
Yeah, usually it's Hector Diaz, number 21, but he's not playing today. I see him on the sidelines, not dressed up. So I guess Plant's getting the carries. He's in for 6, and
he's making
right
the
now,
most of the opportunity.
He's making it. Yep.
This is going to be tough for Durfee to dig themselves out of this. You know, it's going to be down. Looks like 20-0.
The fans really.
It's real
I
quiet on
don't
the
know if
sideline.
stunned is the word, but they've certainly been taken out of this right now.
Well, the turnovers have been the killer here in the first half of the Hilltop. Has
been the killer all season.
You know, you just can't do that. Ooh, off the.
Crazy extra point attempt there.
Hit the left
Pressure
upright.
coming from Durfee, then off the left upright, as you said, Mitch. So no good, and it'll make it 19-0. It'll remain 19-0, I should say, in favor of New Bedford with 6:22 to play here in the half. As we said, 13 points off of turnovers. That's just not the way to win a football game, Thanksgiving or otherwise.
No, you can't keep putting the ball on the ground, picking it off.
Yeah. That's where
it's
you
just a
thought
killer.
that the fake punt wasn't worth it then. That's the way your season's gone, and you figured, hey, let's
Just
punt
kick
it.
the ball away,
Let
pin
New
them deep
Bedford do
maybe.
something, see what happens. Yeah.
Well, the good thing is, win or lose for both teams, obviously everybody wants to win, but Mitch and I were discussing this in pregame. There's a mutual respect from both schools. There's a breakfast that's held now that Mr. Marshall here at Durfee started. So the captains, the ADs, and the principals, they all get together and have breakfast the week of the game, which is a great thing, you know, to show that camaraderie, and even with the fans as well. Everybody realizes it is just a game, and a lot of these athletes still may be learning the game while they're playing. So, you know, win or lose, the team's still going to have the support.
Sure.
Both teams will have support.
Well, it's a tradition that's gone back over 100 years, and it, you know, and it's going to continue on for a long time. So, you know, these kids don't want to be the one that gives up the loss. This is the one that, hey, I want to make the win and that beat them. So, you know, there's always some kind of hype somewhere along the line, and it's just two
No,
teams
you're right.
that
You know, I was
really
on
want
a
to
squad that broke an 11-game losing
There
streak.
you go.
So that was a real good Thanksgiving.
Well, the wind making things difficult on the kickoff, so it will be held. Nice kickoff by DeBrasi, but you see the wind really slowing it up, and it will go out of bounds.
Smart play there to let that one go out of bounds.
That's for sure. So the Hilltoppers going to take advantage of that. But you know, you mentioned about you don't want to be the team to give up the loss on Thanksgiving. New Bedford's won the last 6, and if they win today and they're able to hold on, it'll be just the 4th time in over 100 years that this rivalry's been going on that New Bedford will have won 7 or more consecutive games.
Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong. There's been some great battles. I mean, even though they have that
for
streak,
sure.
it hasn't been, you know, completely blowouts all the time.
No,
it's just
but
that one of those you got to find a way to get over the hump. Though.
Exactly, but it's you know, as a Hilltopper, we've had more downs than ups on Thanksgiving. I mean, you know that, Chris, coming from New Bedford.
Well, I mean, I don't really remember the overall, but it's probably like 54 and 36 and 10.
Nah, it's like 75,
That much?
39 and 7 or something.
Okay, well, there you go. But again, when you think about all of them, Evan, again, you think about, I want to be the team that gets you to that next one. And again, New Bedford side, I don't want to be the team that gives it up. So that's why it's a great traditional rivalry.
And unfortunately for Durfee, with the losing streak against New Bedford, that pass is dropped, and that's going to be incomplete. Tried to sell it, but not working.
Yeah, hit Colby Cabral right in the hands there, and wasn't able to hang on to the ball.
But as you said about the wins and the losses between these two teams, unfortunately for Durfee, none of these players have gotten to experience a win on Thanksgiving because they were only here for 4 years. New Bedford's won the last 6.
Yeah.
So that incomplete pass is going to bring up a 2nd and 10. The ball is at the 30-yard line. It's after it went out of bounds on the kickoff. So Durfee, again, with some decent field position. They've had pretty good field position throughout this game. They just haven't been able to get any rhythm on offense.
It looks like they're a little confused out there. They all keep looking toward the sideline to the coaches, and I'm not really sure they're all on the same page out there right now.
And the other part, too, is it just looks like New Bedford seems like they're in their huddle because they know every play that's been going on. That usually doesn't happen, but they seem to be reading everything.
No, they're flying to the ball. You're absolutely right, Chris.
It certainly seems that way.
3rd down and long. They need 11.
Maybe they have some Spygate, allegedly, going on that we don't know about.
Yeah.
No, all in good fun. The Whalers are just really reading everything quite well. So 3rd and 11. So the Hilltoppers lost yardage on that one.
From the 29.
And so they'll almost have to force Durfee to pass the ball. Lots of time, almost picked off again as number 7, Henry Sesteo, had his hands on that ball. Incomplete, and it's 4th and 11, and now Durfee's got a punt. No fakes here. Going to have to give the ball back with 5 minutes or so to play here in the first half.
Mitch, one of the toughest throws in the game right here is a quarterback going the opposite way, throwing across your body. Never mind with the wind. And New Bedford was seeing it. Watch Correa come. He's going to get double teamed right now as he comes across. But this throw right here is very difficult to make. I thought he did a pretty good job of getting where he wanted to, but you saw the defense read.
Double coverage.
Yep, double coverage.
Yeah, that's an extremely difficult throw for the guys who play on Sunday. Never mind these guys right now.
Yes.
So 4th and 11, the Hilltoppers will punt the ball away. Number 5 is back deep for the Whalers. The punt not going far. It doesn't even make it to midfield. That's a rough punt there for the Hilltoppers. It goes out of bounds right about the 40, and New Bedford will take over in Durfee territory.
Yeah, kind of a sidewinding type of kick.
I think he rushed that, Mitch.
Yeah,
I think he had to do
all
it.
day.
He had time.
I don't understand, what he was trying to do there. He had all day to kick the ball.
Let's watch it again here. He's still got plenty of time to take his time and make a better kick. I think it was about an 11-yard kick after all said and done.
You want to take 2 steps as a punter. He took about 5 and then kind of sidewinded off the side of his foot.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Whalers from the 39-yard line. So they're inside the 40. They hand it off to number 20. That's Felix Plante, and he'll take it across for a 1st down.
Big hole opened up on that left side, and he just followed his blocks.
So Plant goes off, and Moraes comes in, and that's what I talked about earlier about 2 guys running the ball, and usually it was Diaz, but Plant making the most of it now that Diaz is out.
Here's the replay,
and so
Chris.
Watch the hole open up on the left.
Tackle just blew that guy right out, wide open down the sideline there.
So clock continues to roll here in the first half. Coming up on 4.5 to play in the second quarter. Handoff goes to number 25. That's Moraes. And he makes it just across the line before getting tripped up. That'll be a 2nd and just
number 65, Tayshawn Williams, along with 66, Douglas Pimento for New Bedford. They like that left side, Mitch, and they've gone there a lot this year when they had to. Moraes a pretty big kid. He likes to get off of there, hard nose for the ball in the holes, and he's not afraid to put it in there when he needs to. So that's the side they like to go.
Side of the line, definitely.
The ball spotted at the 27, and officially no gain on that one, so it'll be 2nd and 10.
And everything we've seen this quarter has gone to that side, mostly to the left. We haven't seen much to the right at all.
Nope, no action coming toward the right.
And we have a timeout on the field.
So 2nd and long for New Bedford. And usually in this one, they kind of look for number 9, Flugel, the tight end. And if not, they try to run like either, again, a little screen or a little draw when it's 2nd and long. And, usually when you call a timeout, you're thinking of those plays. Let's see what offensive coordinator Mark DeBrito upstairs here above us comes up with.
I'll tell you, I like the Flugel kid.
Yep.
Hard-nosed ball player, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, he's really shut down Correa so far in this first
done
half.
a great job.
Flugel is 6'1". He's a junior. He's 186 pounds, so big kid out there.
Yeah, he's solid.
He's made a couple of big catches, one against Newton North to win a playoff game, and that was his cream of the crop, let's say, rise in this offense, and they started to get him the ball a lot more after that, and he's been doing a nice job.
Well, as they say, right, don't fix what isn't broken.
Yeah.
Right.
So if it's working,
Keep doing
keep it going until it doesn't work anymore.
Well, the Hilltop is going to come up with something to try to stop them, and they're not doing it. So
Well, it's a third and a long 7, Mitch, and we'll see what happens here as they hand the ball off to Moraes, and he's going across for a first down and out of bounds to stop the clock. A great run.
Yep, they just can't stop them when they're going to that left side.
No, Mitch, I mean, you got to think again, where's the containment to let him come back on the inside? The end is getting sealed very nicely so he can make it to the outside, and you're watching it there. And again, Pimento and Williams doing a good job to force him to get that corner and pick up the first down.
You know, where's the help from the secondary to come up, though? It's just not there.
Not enough.
So a first down for the Whalers, and they begin
there.
this next down here from their 13.
And that's not a very
that
good
was a nice
read.
block.
Yeah, not a very good read that time from DeBross. You have to keep that one. I mean, I saw 3 black jerseys before almost he touched the ball. He was ready to get hammered.
Yeah, that was Barrows Bates that made the tackle for Durfee. He was in the backfield just as the ball was handed off, so nice play for Durfee there. Maybe it'll spark him a
I
little
don't
bit.
think up front they've done that bad on defense. The defensive tackles have been good. It's the defensive ends that have struggled a little bit.
It's on the outside.
Yeah.
They're not containing.
And in fact, that was a loss of about 1.5 yards. So we'll say second and a long 11 here. Oh, and missing the tackle there.
Oh, ball
and the ball's loose. Durfee is jumping for joy. But
it was a nice read by the quarterback. He kept it, and then he pitched it. Looked like a clean pitch, but
watch it again. I
seems
just
to lose
think
it.
Moraes just comes up and doesn't handle the pitch because it looks like it's a pretty good one.
Oh, yeah,
right in his
right
hands.
there.
He just flat out drops the ball. And Mitch, no offense, he has 6. I
Oh,
think,
yeah,
to the
absolutely.
end
There's no
zone
one there.
if he holds on to the ball.
that's for sure.
Yep.
So
well, big turnover.
it is a big turnover. And turnovers, as we said, have been really deciding factors so far in how this game has turned out so far in the first half. Could this be what the Hilltoppers are looking for? They got 2 minutes and 1 second to do something here before the half.
Yeah, the difference is, though, they're back on their own 10. You'd rather have that turnover like on New Bedford's 10. That would be nice. And, so it's almost like a punt kind of a situation. But, again, anything positive right now for Durfee going into the half, you need something.
Yeah, and that's true. That does kind of change the mindset a little bit. Sure, the score is 19-0. We just made a good stop on defense and got a turnover. So that's got to feel good in some respect.
Well, they're not going to – I don't think they're going to really hurry Mitch and make one of their own turnovers, and the clock's just going to run. And I think they'll just go to the half and say, listen, it wasn't our half. Let's regroup and let's do it in the second half.
Yeah, you got to remember, too, New Bedford gets the ball to start the second half,
That is
too.
correct.
So.
Yep, the clock continues to wind down. 1:20. Going to pass. Long pass. Almost picked off again. That could have been the 3rd interception again. That looked to be Henry Sesteo, number 7 of the defense. It was intended for Colby Cabral. And Vieira, we haven't seen this much in the game. Vieira hasn't had really much opportunity to, but he has a great arm for a sophomore.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you could see that. When we watched on the other side, Correa might have been open, too. Looked like Flugel slipped on the play.
Yep.
But his mind was already to the right side. It was a two-step drop.
He had made up his mind
quick.
he was going to Cabral.
But I think that's what you have to do because, as we said, everybody's going to be targeting Michael Correa. So got to mix things up a little bit, especially going to second half. They're going to have to really think about what hasn't worked and what has worked.
Well, Bedford will call timeout here. Dennis Golden is running down that sideline and said, we're going to take it here, force them to punt, and again, hasn't been that good so far today.
Bedford's going to have a shot.
Get the ball back.
Get the ball back.
Yep. This is true. The one positive for Durfee is that they can get the punt off. The wind is blowing in the direction they're kicking, so they won't be kicking into the wind. They'll be kicking with it, so that might help them.
Well, if I'm New Bedford, I'm going all out to try to block this thing.
That might be a good call, too. I mean, why not? They're backed up, down deep inside Durfee territory, so why not go for broke?
They got two guys deep here, too, so you got to look for a little reverse action if they do, in fact, get the kickoff.
So it's 4th and 10 from the 13. Durfee has not gained any yards on this drive since getting the ball back on the turnover.
I think New Bedford will let them try to get it off because they got 2 guys back, not 1.
Is that Nunes and Mores, I think, back there, right?
That is correct.
And you'll see Vieira is actually in the end zone, so a bad snap here could be costly as well.
Yeah, and in this win, you've been watching that ball move a little bit to his right, Mitch, and he's caught it a couple of times going that way.
Hey, if he fumbles the snap, it might not be a bad idea just to kick the ball out of bounds, too. I mean, instead of giving up 6, you're only giving up 2.
High snap. Good punt for Vieira. That's a really good punt. That's probably as good of a punt as you could get from that position, and it's going to roll to the 45 of New Bedford.
It's going to be a late flag coming in on Correa. Just not a good penalty there unless they go both ways. But the play was already over, and the official watched, and then Correa came in and pushed the shove. Let's see if they're going to do it both ways, Fun Sportsman, or just on Correa.
Lack of focus there on Correa. Really.
That's one of those.
It's going to be just on him. They're going to watch number 45, I believe it was, for New Bedford. Ancrum doing a little scrum. It's going to be on the right side of your picture here. I don't think we have it in the camera, but they were pushing back and forth, and then Correa just jumped in and shoved in. The official was right there and said, okay, I got it.
See, that's just one of those not using your head type penalties. That's a bad penalty right there.
That's the frustration of a long, tough first
half. Tough first half, yep.
And so look at that. So Durfee's losing 15 yards on what was really an excellent punt from Vieira.
Plenty of time left for New Bedford to get in the end zone again. I mean, you got just under a minute left.
I would say look for DeBrasi to just take it himself and maybe gain a few big chunks of yards here in the last seconds of the half.
And Durfee looks like they're making a substitution here, and we got to have a timeout. And again, the personnel, not the way Coach Jones would like it, and so they take a timeout, and New Bedford will have it at the 40 now, Evan. And like you said, he can throw, but again, he's able to read it and keep it, so he can do both. And we've seen him run, get to the line of scrimmage, stop, back up, and throw the ball. We've seen that this year in New Bedford as well.
I know, and at this point, everything seems to be working so well for New Bedford. If you're Durfee's defense, you just got to be left guessing, saying, what's coming next? And we also see that the bands, we can see out the press box, the New Bedford marching band is getting ready. Durfee's marching band is getting ready as the two bands always play together on Thanksgiving, again showing that mutual respect thing. So they will have a nice halftime show coming up as well. .56 seconds to play here in the first half. 19-0 the score in favor of the Whalers. Pressure coming to DeBrasi.
Well, he's not out of the pocket, Mitch. So I don't know if that's an intentional grounding.
Yeah, that's
not going to call it. I know 20 was there, maybe to set up a screen and plant, but that could have easily been called intentional grounding.
That's lost it down too, but they didn't. Kept the laundry in the pocket on that one.
And it's hard to kind of establish the pocket in a way as well, because looking at the field, there is actually no lines for the pocket. But yes, no flag, no grounding. But good pressure from Durfee. And it's coming again. Number 76. That was Cody LaPointe.
Nice pressure by the Toppers on that one. Flushed them out of the pocket.
So no good, incomplete pass. It stops the clock, but it brings up 3rd and 10 now.
You had some guys open though.
Yeah,
too,
you know this is a tough throw, a little floating pass like that. I mean, I saw Brady do that the other night to get it to Shane Vereen. The Bros ain't no Brady, and so that ain't going to happen too often right there. So that ball was just overthrown. But
I think there are very few quarterbacks you can compare to Tom Brady or Peyton Manning.
But he did make that throw the other day. A little toss over the top like that. That was very difficult. So 3rd and long with 42 seconds.
Receivers lined up on both sides. Lots of time. Up the middle. Leaping grab by number 5, Kevin Nunes. And he's down in the red zone just like that.
Well, they have to now. They're out of timeout, so they're going to have to get up to the line quickly and down it. Still should have some time left.
Clock stops so they can move the chains. As soon as they're in place, the official will signal for it to continue moving.
What a nice ball by
Actually, the
DeBras
clock
there.
is still stopped.
Yeah, well, it's first down until he winds it. Until he winds the clock, and it's not starting. But, yeah, that was a good pass, Mick, but I like the catch. That's a pretty impressive catch. That's a high school kid going up off his feet, getting up two hands and getting that ball. And
then keeping his feet.
And then keeping his feet, and, you know, and keeping the hands on the ball, because easily that could be over. If we're watching again here. Now, Nunes comes across.
And DeBras had so much time.
That's a pretty pass, though. I mean, that's a great
yep,
catch.
Beautiful.
I mean, you watch like guys like Megatron, Calvin Johnson make catches like that. That's a tough catch.
I'd say that's a nominee for one of the catches of the game.
That's a good one.
Especially so far. So it's 2nd and 10 coming up from the 17. That's after the spike to stop the clock. And again, loads of time here for DeBrasi, and now he's going to try and take it himself, passing towards the end zone, wide open, number 8. That's Tito Fernandez Jr. And the Whalers have their 4th touchdown of the game, and Mitch, just as you said, they had plenty of time. They marched down the length of the field, and it's 25-0 now.
You know, it wasn't bad coverage, but when you give him that much time, you're going to have breakdowns in the backfield.
And that's the one I talked about, Evan, where he runs to the line of scrimmage. Now he draws the defensive backs because they think he's going to run.
And he sets up and passes the
and
ball.
stops and he passes, and it's open for the TD. He can do that.
Very talented quarterback is DeBrasi, and that's his 2nd touchdown pass of the game. And they'll go for the extra point as well, and that's DeBrasi kicking. He's 1 for 3, make it 2 for 4. The kick is good. And just like that, the Whalers are up now 26-0 with 20 seconds in the half.
That's a morale killer right there. You cannot give up points under a minute to go. New Bedford had no timeouts left. They drove down the field. That was just a nice drive. Great quarterback play.
Well, it's a first half that you just want to put away and say, hey, let's just go to the locker room. You know, we'll talk about what we need to do on the second half. And again, get something positive going when you stop. And again, what's that going to have to be? That means you got to stop New Bedford 3 and out on their first possession because they're getting the ball to start the second half.
That's for sure. So now with this second quarter coming to an end, Durfee has not scored in 6 straight quarters here at home. That goes back to the Nauset game about a month ago. A game that Durfee also lost. I believe the score was 21-14. So it's been a tough go of it here at home. They were scoring a lot of points at home, and now it kind of reversed. Last game in Quincy, they put up 21 on the road, the most they had put up all season on the road. And now at home they're struggling, which is obviously not what anybody wanted to see.
We got Colby Cabral and Oliver back deep. It's not going to reach him.
No, it's picked up by 41, and that is Kevin Kennedy. And he avoids any tackles, just puts his knee down.
That's a head scratcher to me. I mean, why not just run the, you got to run the ball.
Yeah, that one there.
I mean, it's not like he's going to throw a 65-yard pass to get in the end zone. I mean,
No,
you
and
need
he had some
positive
room.
yardage.
He did have some room to run, so.
I mean, if you're going to do that, then you're pretty much going to take a knee right here, kill the 19 seconds, and that's it. I mean,
Pick
I
up
like
the
what New
ball
Bedford
and-
did. You don't kick it deep to the speed guys. You get to the up backs, and they did the right thing. But look, he still had another 5 to 7
Oh,
yards.
at
and
least.
He could have got some more out of that. But
And Durfee had
they
timeouts to
didn't.
use.
So I think they'll just do a victory formation,
Yeah.
go down on the one knee and say, hey, that's it.
Yeah, it looks like what they're doing. Yep, he
And
took
they
the
will
knee.
take
Yep.
the knee, and that should run out the clock as we come to 10 seconds. So the score after one half of football here, the New Bedford Whalers lead it 26-0 over the Durfee Hilltoppers. We have a halftime show coming up from the 2 marching bands. So be sure to stay with us. We're going to take a quick timeout, and we'll be back here on Fred TV. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Welcome back to Mack Aldridge Field. This is the halftime show. Evan Massey joined by Mitch Lown and Chris Santos. Thanks for tuning in. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Guys, this one not looking good for Durfee. It's 26-0 in favor of New Bedford.
Kind of like what I just said to Chris off air. I said pretty much going the way I thought it was going to go. New Bedford just, far superior in their talent and the athletes they have on the field. Durfee just can't keep up with them.
Total yards in the first half, 212 for New Bedford, 15 for Durfee. That pretty much sums it up.
Yeah, that and the
I
turnovers.
guess in the first half. And again, we talked about it. Penalties, turnovers, all in favor of New Bedford, and that's why we're at the score we're at.
Yes, and in fact, you mentioned the turnovers. 13 of those 26 points came via turnovers. So half of New Bedford's points because of Durfee mistakes, basically.
You can't keep, putting the ball on the floor. The pick six.
You see on your screen here,
it's,
the first turnover actually was the pick six, and that
See,
was Tyler Jacobs in the
there's
first
just an
quarter.
outstanding play. I mean, that's just a good play, and they make it into turnover. That's a positive for New Bedford. The one that got me, and we talked about it, was the fake punt. I think that really shot them in the foot in that whole first half to try to make that play. Everybody knew it was kind of coming, and then all of a sudden they pick it off, and they get some positive and get some points off of that.
I didn't
that was
understand
very
that.
difficult right there if you're a Durfee fan.
It was a strange call, and Mitch, as you said, a former punter yourself. Would you have ever? You see it on your screen now.
Yeah.
This was that fake punt attempt. Would you have ever thought of that call?
No, I mean, not in that situation. You're back deep, and you want to get the ball out of your end. You want to kick the ball away. They didn't. They threw the pass. It got picked off. They scored 6 points right after that. So I didn't understand the play call. Thought it was not the opportune time to do it. There's really, nothing good came out of it.
Well, I mean, guys, there's been some talk in New Bedford, 5 and 5s, 4 and 6s last few years. You guys have been kind of down also with your records. But in your eyes, what's the two cities have in common that the programs are not in that kind of upper echelon? What are you seeing from Fall River that says, what does Durfee need to do to get back on that map in football, to get back to like 7-3s and 8-2 seasons compared to what you're seeing now?
I think it's the numbers. I think it's just it's an apathy toward the programs, and not just in football. You're seeing it on the hardwood. You're seeing it on the diamond. You're seeing it on the ice, cross country. It's just a lack of numbers coming out, enthusiasms about the various programs.
But why is that? Why is the numbers not there anymore?
I'm not in tune with it enough to give you a real educated answer to that. I just see it from afar. Being a hilltopper, I want to see all the programs do well, and you're just not seeing it anymore.
We've seen a little bit in New Bedford where some of the kids have left the city. They've gone to the towns. They've been able to go to New Bedford Folk. They've done some different things to spread themselves out, and then you lose them, and then there goes the numbers there where the athletes are not there no more.
The thing I'm seeing here, too, in Fall River is, I have several neighbors that their parents went to Durfee, but they're going to Bishop Conley.
Yeah.
I mean, the starting backfield at Bishop Conley is, those are Fall River guys. They're not coming from Westport, Dartmouth, wherever. I mean, those are guys that could be playing at Durfee.
Sure.
Yeah, I think, Chris, from what I've seen is just, and especially just with the football, things are just not clicking all together, everything at once.
Yep.
Like I said, one game you see Durfee's offense, maybe it's really kicking it into high gear. They lost a game against Somerville here at Mac Aldridge Field, I think it was week 6. So it was middle of the season. They lost 41-35. They had the ball on the last possession with 90 seconds to go, and they threw an interception. So offense is working well, defense is giving up a lot of points, and there's turnovers. So they just need to get this combination of everything working together in one game, and that's how you're going to come out with wins.
Unfortunately today, none of it's firing at all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's two proud programs, big cities, obviously. And I'm not just talking on the gridiron. You've mentioned it. It's all the sports of two proud cities that want them programs back to winning success. Right. And we've had that in the Skippy Karam and Eddie Rodricks in basketball. We've had it here in the football with Wisnowski and obviously Wayne Hamlin over in New Bedford. So we've seen that, but it seems to have disappeared. And again, we're trying to figure out why down there. I'm sure you're trying to figure out why over here. And it's just two proud programs that want to stay in tradition of sports and stay in the upper echelon compared to the other schools that you're going to have to play against. Right. And when you start playing Xaverians and St. John Preps and some of the bigger schools, it's very difficult to go against.
Very true. Yep. At this time, we're going to head down to the field as we have New Bedford playing for their fans right now. And so we'll try to get some sound from their halftime show. And then Durfee will be taking the field as well, so waiting on the sidelines. Last season, both schools played together a joint halftime show this year, doing it a little differently here at Mac Aldridge Field. But so we'll take a listen here and quick timeout as New Bedford entertains us for a while.
I'm trying to keep some rain
great show by the New Bedford Whalers Marching Band, and now the Durfee Hilltoppers Marching Band will take the field as they'll finish the halftime festivities here at Mac Aldridge Field, and then we'll get back to the action as football coming your way the second half, just a short while.
Slide down a little bit this way.
This should be the center here. This should be the center here. No, push down to this way.
The Durfee High School 2013-2014 band is under the direction of Mr. Matt McMullen. Assistant director is Mr. Jay Treelor. And the color guard advisor is Mrs. Melissa Costa-Doyle. The drum majors are Benjamin Lambert and Nicholas Mello. The color guard captain is Miranda Zini. The band performs at all home games, community performances, school concerts, and several parades throughout the year. At this time, we'd like to take this opportunity to recognize the senior members of the band. Tree Alves, Chi Chit Chow, Jonathan Curtis, Joelsi Di Carvalho, Joanza Foster, Nick Mello, Benjamin Lambert, Sherrod Paradis, Jeffrey Reynolds, Hannah Santos, Tyler Vieira, and Miranda Zini. Please welcome the 2013 Durfee High School Marching Bands.
Yep. And that was the Hilltoppers Marching Band, their halftime performance. One of the songs did was Moon Dance. great hit there, kind of a Jazz standard. So as they head off the field, we are just about ready for the second half. I'm Evan Massoud, joined by Mitch Lown, and Chris Santos. Thanks for tuning in on Fred TV. It's 26-0 in favor of New Bedford, guys. What do you think Durfee's going to try to come out and do here in the second half?
Well, you got to come out and do something.
Yeah.
You can't just do what they did in the first half. I mean, we'll state the obvious there. They got to move the ball, and they got to hang on to the ball. It's very simple.
Well, how about this one? Last week we saw a team at home down 24-0 at the half called the New England Patriots. And they came back, and they beat a team, obviously, in a great second half. Obviously, Durfee's going to need some kind of tremendous second half to really overcome this deficit of 26-0. But it starts with, obviously, New Bedford getting the ball. Got to get 3 and out, Mitch. Get the ball and do something on the offense. It's as simple as that, and get it going.
Yeah, they're going to do something positive on both sides of the ball. Defensively, they have to try to contain DeBrusque, who had one heck of a first half. Kid's an athlete. They have athletes on that side of the ball as well. So they got to stop him.
Well, right before we get to football, we have Superintendent of the Fall River Schools, Meg Mayo Brown, here. Mrs. Superintendent, love to have you share a few words, your thoughts so far on the game.
So we're certainly, thank you. Oh, there's the camera. Hello. Wishing Fall River a very happy and healthy Thanksgiving, cheering our Hilltoppers on. I know they're a little bit behind, but we're rooting for them to get on the scoreboard today. And again, just want to say happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
It's you as well, Meg.
All right, thanks.
Thank you very much.
You want to say hi, Sydney? All right, thank
Happy
you.
Thanksgiving, Mr. Superintendent. And see, it just goes to show everybody's still cheering, everybody's still happy because it's Thanksgiving Day football, and it's all about the tradition. Sure, everybody wants to win, but it's all about having fun in the end.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even if you get beat, and I'm sure, Mitch, you've looked back at these games that you've been in and sit back and say, if we would have done this, or if that didn't happen, or whatever it is. And it's just a game you're going to talk about probably for the rest of your life, whether you win it, whether you lose it. I mean, I know you want to win it, but if you don't, it's still going to come up later on in life with your buddies and your friends, and you're going to say, we were in 4 of them. Yep.
Right. Well, we are just a couple of minutes away here, maybe a couple seconds away from the second half. So we're going to toss it to a quick timeout here, and we'll be right back with the second half. Stay with us. To Mac Aldridge Field. This is Thanksgiving Day Football on Fred TV. Thanks for joining us. Evan Massoud along with Mitch Lown and Chris Santos. We are just about ready for the second half. New Bedford will receive the ball, and that's after putting up 26 points in the first half.
Mitch, if you play coach right now, if you're Coach Jones, what'd you tell your team at the half?
No, don't hang your heads.
Yep.
You got another half of football to play. Come out, play heady. Hang on to the ball, and have some fun out there. I mean, you got nothing to lose.
And on the opposite side, Evan, if you're Coach Golden, what are you telling your kids? You're up 26-0. I mean, what a first half. Do you just say, hey, not much, and keep it going?
Well, actually, Chris, I think you're right. Just keep doing what you're doing. The defense has been outstanding for New Bedford. They forced turnovers. In fact, 13 of their 26 points have been because of turnovers. So the defense has really come to play, and the offense has stepped up when they've been given the ball.
I think you just use your head. Do what you did in the first half.
As we said earlier, in certain cases, don't fix what isn't broke. Just go out and keep playing the way you've been playing.
Well,
hopefully Durfee has made some changes to make it a little more competitive.
I mean, 212 to 15 yards. And when we heard what Sullivan just said at the halftime, they had a drive there that they were minus 40 in penalties, and they still 40 yards, and they still scored. I mean, things like that. Second half, they got to stop them here and get the ball back as quick as they can.
They got to be disciplined. They have to stay disciplined.
And it's a ground ball kickoff here, kicking into the wind, and New Bedford just diving on the ball. That's number 9, Hunter Flugel. He had a great first half.
Yeah, he did. I happened to graduate with his father from Dartmouth High School, Kenny Flugel. And in fact, I'm an elementary school teacher, and I've taught Hunter in my classes in the elementary schools. A great kid with a good head on his shoulders, and that's the kind of ball player you want on your team. I take 11 Hunter Flugels is out there. Good head on his shoulders.
Yeah, he has really had a great game, and the Whalers will have great field position here to begin the second half. Ball on the 32, 1st and 10.
New quarterback, fellas.
Oh, he's got him
New
deep.
quarterback going for the Hail Mary pass on the first play. In and out of the hands of Steven Azor. That should have been a quick 6 points. Wow.
What a nice ball. Who is that guy?
New Bedford came out with the old Statue of Liberty,
Yep.
faked it, thought they were going to give it to the ball. Watch the Statue of Liberty here when Costa gets it. Look at the fake, little behind you. Then he doesn't get it. He throws the bomb.
What a beautiful ball.
Awesome.
It's there.
So forget about just playing the way you played in the first half as Coach Golden comes out and pulls that one out of his little bag of tricks.
Yep.
Wow.
Brendan Costa was the quarterback.
Yep. And again, he started the season, Mitch, and a good young kid that can throw the ball. But he's not more of that read option. He's more of that thrower kind of type. So he's come in now and then, here and there, on certain plays, and they go back to the Bros.
And Costa listed as a freshman, graduating class of 2017. Pass across the middle, that's to Kevin Nunes, number 5, and it's across midfield for a first down.
I'll tell you what, New Bedford's coming out with guns blazing here. I'm a little surprised. I figured it might be a little conservative, but I think they're trying to put the nail in the coffin
Well,
here.
I mean, read option. They can come back and say, hey, let's run the ball, 26-0, 26-0. They're coming out throwing. Unbelievable.
Another great catch by Nunes across the middle.
Oh, they probably figure that they have Durfee now, on the heels, so just go for broke, right? Yeah. So 1st and 10 from the 49 as the ball's across midfield. And the Whalers will hand it off this time. And that looked to be Moraes, number 25.
Another big chunk of yardage, another first down for New Bedford.
Scratch that. That was number 20. That's Felix Plant.
Yeah, just a good block again by 66 Pimenta. Watch him seal the corner right here. He's got it. And by then, he's already by, and he's looking for more people downfield. So that's just good blocking from
more
Pimenta.
of the same from the Durfee defense, too.
Left side again.
Outside.
I think every year it's different. Again, we throw stats out the window, but last year I think New Bedford really got a bit of a wake-up call when the Hilltoppers had the lead at the half. This year, New Bedford has come out with their guns ready.
Now that's Lopez on that right defensive end, number 58, that keeps getting sealed there. Got to get upfield, force him back underneath. You saw in that particular play, Moraes had to cut back because good penetration by the defensive line for Durfee.
And he was, a shoestring tackle away from breaking it. With his quarterback out in front of him blocking.
We have ourselves a 2nd and long 6. Quick pass to the near side to Steven Sanchez. He has some room. He's taken out of bounds inside the 30, and it'll be very close to a first down.
Again, they're just getting to that outside. That end on the right side for Durfee is just getting blown off the ball.
Quick pass in the slot. Now you see Williams there. Give up. Give him a little shuck. And then get to the outside to get even a better block on the linebacker. And then he gets the first down. So they're using that left side, and they're using it well.
Well, actually, Chris, they're spotting the ball that used just shy now of the first down, it appears. So we're going to have a 3rd and really short pickup here. Perhaps a quarterback keeper.
It's either going to be the read option with Moraes, or he'll keep it like you said.
And there you go. You call that one. Here's Moraes. He has a lot of room on that right side. Trying to cut in. He's still in bounds on his feet, taken down inside the 15. That's a great run.
Yeah, and what's great about it is the penetration of the offensive line, at least 2 yards forward, by the time Moraes even gets the ball.
Yeah, they're blowing him right off
If you're blowing that off right off the line of scrimmage, that's easy opening all day long.
So they'll move the chains. It's another first down for the Hilltoppers. The ball will be at about the 13 or 14-yard line.
That replay there, you could see how much yardage they pushed forward by the time the Bros put it in the belly of Moraes.
And that's what you want from your offensive line. Going to hand it off again. Oh, they missed a tackle. That was number 52 for the Hilltoppers, who missed the tackle.
Touchdown.
Jonathan Torres, and it turns into a touchdown for the Whalers. They march the length of the field on their opening drive here in the second half. 32-0 the score.
How many times have we seen it, guys? Missed tackles, breakdowns defensively. I mean, that was just the whole drive.
Yeah, you're watching right here. This has to be made.
Yep.
That tackle there. It's a 5-yard loss, and you got to come up with it. They can't by then. Where's the defensive secondary?
Great
the next
blocking
unit.
Downfield.
Yeah, where's the next unit coming up? They're not getting it. And right now they just seem like they're so depleted and having a tough time.
It was all too easy there for Moraes, and the extra point is good. 33-0 the score as the Whalers come out of the half. Guns a-blazing.
65 yards in about 3.5 minutes.
I know, it didn't take very long. And if I am correct here in the stats, that was Moraes' first touchdown of the game on the ground as well.
Well, they could have been almost in one play on that first one with the Statue of Liberty, a drop ball.
This is true.
Instead, New Bedford comes back. They do it a little bit through the air with Nunes, but pretty much they went back to the ground game guys and then just pretty much dominated up front.
And, you know, if I'm Durfee and I see that Statue of Liberty play, say, you know what? Let's pull out our little bag of tricks and try to do something, because what they're doing right now on offense has not worked. And that's why they haven't put up any points.
Well, for them, again, 15 total yards in the first half. They're just looking for something to
never
get
mind
them
the
some
score, right?
points.
Just a big play, just something positive.
You know, get a first down, get some things going. But let's see if they've made some adjustments in the locker room for their offense.
Number 2, Colby Cabral, Cindy, as well as number 10, Travellis Oliver.
Travellis Oliver and Colby Cabral back deep for the Hilltoppers as they're awaiting the kickoff. It's a low scribbler. Takes a bad bounce off of number 41. That's Kevin Kennedy, and he has no choice but to just fall on it. And the ball will be at about the 27, 28-yard line.
Smart play by the kicker for New Bedford. Just squib that thing down. He kicked it hard, too. Bounced right off him. Could have been a turnover.
You know what? I mean, I wouldn't give Oliver, or if it's Correa's back there, I wouldn't give them the ball. I mean, I just really wouldn't. I'd give it to the up men, squib it down there. You keep it away from the players that will burn you, and that's what they've done.
And you know what? Having to fall on it like Kennedy did, because it was, you know, a squibbler, probably have less yards there than if they had returned it. The return from Oliver or Cabral probably would have been past the 30, because that's what we've seen so far in this game a couple of times. And we got a timeout for the Hilltoppers with 7:52 to play. Thank you for tuning in to Fred TV, all of you watching here in Fall River or in New Bedford on the New Bedford Cable Network. Happy Thanksgiving. I am Evan Massoud, joined by Mitch Lown and Chris Santos. It has been all New Bedford here. And right here we're going to see some replays as well of that last score, but it has been all New Bedford in this one. Whalers up 33-0. They had a 26-0 lead at the half.
I think this is the pass to Nunes right here.
Yep.
This was that missed pass that.
Nope, that was
I'm sorry.
Get him to midfield.
Wrong replay. But that was still a great pass there. And now we head back to the action as Hilltoppers trying to maybe establish the running game.
Mitch,
get it back to the line of
you
scrimmage.
come out of the huddle, though, Mitch. You're calling timeout already on the first.
Yeah,
I mean, haven't even run a play yet.
Just very, very unorganized.
Yep, that's not
They're
good right there.
prepared.
Yep.
You know, that falls on the coach. I mean, you got to get your guys ready.
Yep.
And this crowd has really been taken out of it, especially with that opening drive here in the second half for New Bedford, getting the 7 points there in such a short time. The Durfee crowd is very quiet.
Ball is at the 30-yard line.
So 2nd and 8, as it turns out. Durfee did gain 2 on that play.
Looks like they're making a change.
Yep, calling an audible at the line here.
Vieira gets the snap, going to go to the air across the middle. Nice pass. And he's still on his feet, fighting his way across midfield. That's number 25, Elijah Brooks.
Way to go. Nice hit there.
Mitch, what did we talk about in the first half? That's open in the defense of New Bedford, the middle of the field. There's an adjustment at the half and say, listen, it's open. You got to see it up above as a coaching staff. It's what they're doing is they're bringing Nunes from the safety over where Career is to double team him if he gets by Flugel. So the center of the field is wide open.
And it is again.
Yep.
And Coach Jones recognizing that on that formation. That's why he called that audible. It worked beautifully. So now Durfee across midfield. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 48.
And they got Correa lined up in the slot a little bit more often, too.
Trying to run it, and that did not work out. It'll be a loss of 3 yards.
And what it is it's number 9, Flugel on the line of scrimmage to bump him. If he gets by Flugel, then there's Nunes, the safety, over the top. So they're just going to double team him the entire game and force someone else to make plays.
And unfortunately for Durfee, no one's made the plays up until Brooks'
He's
last
got that one
catch.
there.
And as we see in the running game, it's just absolutely killing the Hilltoppers right now. I say you go right back to the air here on 2nd and 12.
Look at the middle of the field, guys.
Could get a nice seam route with a tight end right down that. That would be a nice play for them.
Correa's on the far side.
He's going
to Colby Cabral. Oh! Going down. On the 5. It sure looked like a touchdown, but the
I would
officials
love to
calling
see
it
the
back
replay on that one.
to say that he caught it out of bounds. And we will see a replay, Mitch.
Yep.
It's going to be a catch, but then he's going to be out of bounds.
That's a great catch nonetheless.
Yep.
The passing game maybe working out a little better here in the second half.
Oh, wow, he looks like he picked up some chalk, yeah. The official was right there,
questionable call. That was really, really borderline.
That's what Durfee's doing now, guys. They're giving him some time. You know, let them double team Correa. We're going to get other people in there to step up in this game. You saw two different receivers. This is what Durfee needs to do. So what happens? Coach Golden calls timeout. We need to make an adjustment.
Exactly.
I'll tell you, that was a heck of a catch by
Yeah, it
Colby
was.
Cabral, though. Nice
Here we
concentration.
go. Ultra slow-mo, Mitch. Break it down. Does he go out of bounds or not?
Well, the official's right here.
He's got a good look at
So
it.
he's in. There's the catch.
Let's watch that foot. Exactly, Chris.
I don't know, man. Oh, right there. That's
Maybe
the
it's
one
that
right
one.
there.
Maybe the
Yep,
heel.
That's the one.
That's a great job
Yeah.
by your camera crew, guys.
Hey,
They're
good job,
picking that
fellas.
right up.
Yeah, he's out. He's out twice, actually.
And that's a shame because he had the field. That was 6 points.
Teletron, here we want the Teletron here for Mitch. Wants to get out the marker and circle that.
Well, it's still a first down nonetheless, and the Hilltoppers pretty deep into New Bedford territory, really for the first time since the first quarter.
Mitch,
So,
I ban the run, throw the pass. Might as well.
Ball's at the 26.
Colby Cabral in motion. The snap to Vieira, fakes the handoff to number 21. That was
Go
Brian
right.
DeMello, and it is incomplete. Not sure who that pass was intended for because there was nobody in the vicinity where the ball went.
Late flag just got thrown in.
Oh, that's away from the play. I don't know where.
Way on the
flag
opposite
came in.
side.
And there's a penalty marker on the field.
Refs pointing towards New Bedford. We'll
Looks
see
like
what this
pass
penalty ends up
interference or a
being.
defensive hold. Yep, that's an automatic first down.
Defensive holding against the New Bedford
Flag.
Raiders.
I mean, the ball had already been thrown.
And it's
and
away
next
from the
away
play. I
from
really.
Wow. That was almost 5 seconds after the play was over.
Perhaps that's one of those home calls, as we like to call them, right? So, as you said, Mitch, yes, first down it'll remain after the holding penalty. And that puts Durfee now inside the red zone. So the Hilltoppers hoping to strike, get some points on the board, and feel good about some kind of offensive rhythm.
I think Henry and number 2, Cabral on the right side need to be going in that direction with the double team on Correa on the left.
And he's looking right again. Going to the end zone. Colby Cabral can't handle it. He had a lot of pressure there.
A great defensive play. Timed it just right, knocked the ball out.
Yeah, Henry
And there's no pass interference because both guys were going for the ball.
That's number 7, Henry Sesteo, a good defensive back for New Bedford all year long. He's usually covering one of the top wide receivers. And, you know, he's letting the guy get behind him, though,
Yeah.
Mitch. That's deadly. You got to be careful there.
You know, his closing speed, though, to the ball once he got behind him, that's what created the play defensively for New Bedford.
5 minutes and 2 seconds left here in the third quarter. Ball is at the 17, and we have a 2nd and 10 coming up. Hilltoppers in the red zone looking for their first score of the game. Vieira moving left, nowhere to go, going right, and it is going to be picked off by the Whalers. That's number 40, and he has a chance to go the length of the field. He's pushed out of bounds
Stepped out on the
inside the
46.
40-yard line. Noah Giosa.
There's a penalty marker on the field.
And once
Flag
again,
down.
a turnover for the Hilltoppers. That's Vieira's 3rd interception of the game.
Now, let's see if that flag
Probably
was
a black.
after the interception.
Yeah,
But unfortunately, guys, thought an opportunity there with an errant pass. Thought he could have ran more to his right.
Yeah.
Let the play develop a little bit and let the separation come. Mitch. He didn't do it. He threw it into traffic and gets picked off.
You know, in high school, I never liked rolling out to the left-hand side with a right-handed quarterback.
Yep. Now, see, he comes back this way, but I still think he had a little bit more room to let him separate the receiver because he was now going back to the outside.
I'll tell you what, that's one heck of an interception. He one-handed that ball.
Absolutely. Well, you know, you could chalk it up to some inexperience. Vieira, this is only really his 6th game started, if I get that right, 6th or 7th game started. And he is a sophomore, so he's going to be back the next 2 years, which means he'll have even more time to improve. Both teams, really young teams. New Bedford has, 24 seniors, and a lot of the players that are starting are younger players.
Yeah, the Bros is, again, the one to look at as a junior, so he'll be back. Even Costa. And a few other guys on that offensive side of the ball. So it's good, and the same thing for Durfee. I mean, you got a sophomore kid. Yeah, he's going to have growing pains and make errors. Maybe he will not next year.
Well, after the penalty, brings the ball all the way back into New Bedford territory, so that's one saving grace for Durfee.
On the carry for New Bedford.
Well, that's the first carry there, as you hear from number 34, Devon Senna. 5'8", 172 pounds. So a few reserves now, Mitch, getting in the ball game for New Bedford.
At the 40-yard line.
Costa's back in for the Bros at quarterback.
Coach Golden might be just calling off the dogs a little bit too, which is nice of him. Thanks.
2nd and about 3 coming up from the 40. Missed tackle again, and that's going to be a first down and more.
I had him for a 4 or 5 yard loss, and again, breaking the tackles, getting positive yards.
Yeah,
that was Cody LaPointe who missed the tackle.
We're seeing a lot more offensive players for New Bedford, numbers that we have not called here this afternoon and this morning. So New Bedford, like you said, Mitch, just making some other people play and getting in there. So some second stringers now coming out, 82 and 10, names like Nolan Haight and Deja Burgo.
1st and 10 from just about
I knew there'd be a
midfield.
Burgo on the
Looking to
roster
pass,
somewhere.
quick pass to number 6, Steven Sanchez, and he's taken down behind the line, so a nice stop for the defense.
Well, it's interesting. They're still actually passing the ball, opportunity now to run the ball, get the tick off the clock and just kind of run it down. And it's not like you have not been successful running it. Still want to get the clock moving. Watch it there, just a little bubble screen to the outside in the slot position. Durfee was ready for it.
That's going to bring up a 2nd and 11 now from the 47-yard line. They'll hand the ball off and stopped in the backfield. That's going to be a loss of about 5 yards, so the Durfee D coming up big here. And that'll bring up 3rd and long.
They blew that play up right in the middle there.
Well, they try to go to the left side again, but the difference is you don't have Williams and Pimentel in there anymore.
Right.
You got some new faces on the offensive line.
It's a 3rd down now for the Whalers.
3rd and a country mile here for New Bedford. We'll see what happens.
Well, we'll see. They've handled the 3rd and longs pretty well today, so we'll see again. Maybe they go with that Statue of Liberty play.
Well, I don't think they're going to go with that, but we haven't seen a draw or a screen, and New Bedford's been known for those.
This is true. So 3rd and 13. Lots of time to pass, so the pressure is coming. Going to the far side right, no good.
Pass is incomplete.
As it bounces on the ground. So that's a pretty big stop for Durfee, especially since they had the offense in the red zone. They couldn't capitalize after the interception. So the penalty and pretty big stop. You have to think the Whalers are going to punt here. No reason to try and go for it. They're up 33-0.
Oh, yeah, this is punt formation all the time. Costa underthrew him there. Usually the stronger thrower of the two, but didn't get it off, and looks like Raposo will be back to do the punting.
So it's 4th and 13, and the Whalers will punt it away. Wind has died down just a bit out there compared to earlier. Really high, booming kick. Bounces at the 20, and it's going to roll to about the 7-yard line, and that's where the Whalers will down it. That's a great punt.
Heck of a kick.
It's always nice on that turf field to get that nice extra roll and he did on that one to give him another 10 yards to put it inside the 10. So that's a good job by Raposo.
So Durfee once again will be back deep in their territory, and they'll have a tall task. This third quarter's gone by pretty quickly. 1:43 seconds left here.
Not a lot of penalties. They're keeping the clock moving.
That's for sure. The first half was a long first half, one of the longer first halves of the season, and this third quarter really moving.
Well, let's see if the Hilltoppers stick to throwing the ball here on this drive. They had some success on the last one.
Just got to be careful of pressure because you're near the end zone. You don't want a safety.
And you don't want holding in the end zone
Quick
either.
pass to Correa. It's completed. He's across the 10. Has some room. Fighting his way down out of bounds just shy of the 20-yard line. We'll see if they give him the first down. It looks like he's got it.
I'm really surprised I haven't seen more of that play right there. Free up your best athlete, get him the ball in space, and let him create.
Well, they did some jet sweep. They tried to jet sweep with him in that first half. They tried a couple of these.
Tackled
They played
inbounds.
up on him pretty tight. Again, one guy in his face, one guy behind him.
right.
So things like that, and they're trying to.
And they kept Flugel in the game. They didn't take him out yet. So.
Yep, he's not covering Correa on this play, though.
And that shows you the talent of Correa, too. He was just fighting and clawing his way. Quick shuffle pass to Brian DeMello on the far side left. And he's across the 25, just shy of a first down. Not a bad run on first
not
down.
too bad. If Correa would have picked up his block, he could have actually gotten a few more yards there.
It's going to be a first down and 10 from the Hilltopper 27.
Brian DeMello's a junior, so he will be back again next season, as will Michael Correa, another junior. So a lot of these guys will be back 1 year from now. And they gave him a first down, so from, oh, wow. Almost lost the ball as DeMello, and that just kind of shook up the whole play right there.
Yep, just one little hesitation.
I mean, if you're going to make that, then you might as well do the two hands
Right.
instead of the one-hand pitch. I mean, if you're going to sweep it out that quickly and not run down the line a little bit, then you might as well do it with the two hands.
That was a heck of a hit by number 57, too, for New Bedford, Baptista. Looks like they have the second string in there on the defense as well, so Hilltoppers may be able to move the ball a little bit more.
3 seconds in the third quarter. We'll see if they get the snap off. 2-1, and that will end the third quarter. A very fast quarter, as we said. Not too many penalties, a lot of running the ball, a lot of completions. And just like that, 11 more minutes of playing time off the clock. And now we head into the final act here, Thanksgiving Day 2013. 11 minutes left in this one. And New Bedford with the commanding lead, 33-0 the score. So we'll switch sides. Durfee will have the ball at the 30-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 10. And we'll see what they can do here. See if they can maybe get in the end zone before this one's over. A shutout would really be ugly.
Yeah, it really would be. They're starting to get some success throwing the ball.
The event is scheduled for tomorrow from noon to 1 here at August
They just can't key on Korea.
Bank for organizing a special event
got to mix it up, move it around,
the love
get
of
some
physical fitness and Durfee
running
athletics.
backs out in the
And
flat,
so
and
much
then get your
encouragement
other
coming
receivers
live.
involved like they have before the
Tickets may be
interception, and
purchased
they were
at the
moving the ball
table
pretty good.
directly near the
And Durfee, you're right. Durfee has had more success here in the second half than in the first half. They just still can't find that end zone.
Athletic departments.
So we're just about ready here for the fourth quarter to begin.
Second down
Here we go.
now for Durfee.
Fierro looking to pass, going to come here. He has Elijah Brooks open,
Pass
but the
incomplete.
throw
That is
overthrown.
intended for number
Pass
25,
overthrown,
Elijah
and it
Brooks.
is no good.
Third
So
down.
3rd and 10.
He had a little space, but just couldn't get him the ball.
And you see there was space, as you said, Mitch, across midfield, but just overthrown a bit. Otherwise, that would have been, he would have been off to the races.
I like the play calling. You know, they're trying to open it up. They really have no choice. They're down by 33, so why not throw the rock around?
Well, I mean, if you're New Bedford, again, you just don't give up the big play. If they can get things underneath, let them pick it up and waste the clock. You just don't want anyone to get behind you.
3rd and 10 from the 30. This is a big third down for the Hilltoppers. And we're going to have a timeout.
Timeout taken
Bedford
by the Whalers.
takes the timeout. Maybe wanting to reset for this third down.
20-second timeout taken by the Whalers.
And while we have a second, again, we want to thank you for joining us here on Fred TV. Everybody in Fall River watching on Fred TV, or in New Bedford watching on New Bedford Cable Network. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. We're in the fourth quarter now here at Durfee High School. New Bedford leading over the Hilltoppers 33-0. Hilltoppers with the ball, trying to get something going on offense. It's been a rough game for Durfee, and they have a 3rd and 10 coming up out of this timeout.
Yeah, they really got to start to move it a little bit, get some positive yards, put some points up on the board for them.
Low snap, pressure coming to Vieira. He's going to float it to the right side. Nobody there, out of bounds, and it brings up 4th and 10, and now the Hilltoppers have to kick it away. You can hear the coaching staff yelling punt from our sideline microphone, so special teams coming out to give New Bedford the ball back.
And hopefully we don't see another fake. They'll just kick the ball away and get the defense back out there.
A fake would do absolutely nothing at this point because the score is so lopsided. So you're better off just going on defense, as you said, Mitch. Just punch it away and try to get a 3 and out. Too many bad things can happen on fakes, especially as far back as they are.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, it's not worth it at this point at
Exactly.
33-0. There's no need for it. Unless you are desperate to try to find 7 points.
That's a good punt.
That is a good punt.
Little knuckleball
Turned
there.
over nice, yep.
It's kind of floated out across midfield. Nice return from New Bedford, and there's a flag down as well. So we'll see if this one's going to come back.
Got a block on the back against New Bedford.
There you go, Mitch. So, again, the returns, New Bedford not doing a good job on the special teams returns because they've had a number of penalties with blocks in the back in this game.
Well, sometimes you get off a booming kick, but then again, it leaves some time for New Bedford to catch the ball. Made a good move, got to the outside. Unfortunately, the flag kills him and brings him back. So Costa will come back out and try to run that offense.
I mean, and it really hasn't hurt the Whalers. The penalties so far this game have really not been a factor because they've been able to overcome them. And but yes, as you said, that return there, it's just been totally eliminated. So 1st and 10 now from the 42. And they hand it off to number 34. That's Devon Senna.
And that's Costa at quarterback now. He's a freshman, isn't he?
No, actually, Costa's a sophomore.
Sophomore.
Yeah, good. Again, young kid,
He's,
good arm.
He's the son of one of my former teammates, Chris Costa.
Oh, there you go.
Chris is a principal or vice principal in New Bedford, I believe.
Okay. So a former Hilltopper's son playing for New Bedford. Is that what you're telling me?
It happens. Hey, my daughter's going to
There you
Somerset.
go. There you go.
Second and about 2, maybe about 1, actually. Second and short. And Costa will keep it himself, and he's going nowhere. Stop behind the line right at midfield.
Great
and
defense.
so it's a loss. That's very good defense here. Hilltoppers read that one very well.
Well, Chris, you're married to a ex-head cheerleader.
That is
my
true.
classmate. So.
That is true, I am. And, every time I come here and then when I get back home, we discuss this game.
With your father
and him also.
Former Hilltopper great Tommy Aruda. So.
Yeah. And so, we have a nice conversation during eating of the turkey.
I'm sure he's leading the conversation.
Yes, he is.
Is it as intense as, say, a Red Sox-Yankees discussion?
It can be. Let's put it that way.
Really?
Yeah. He wasn't a football player. He's more basketball and baseball.
Correct.
And obviously when those matchups come up later on, when the winter and spring comes, that's always fun to talk about as well.
Absolutely. It looks like the Whalers may have been stopped just shy of the first down. We'll see where they spot this ball. They may ask for a measurement. That's a pretty good spot. It didn't look like they made it that far.
No, they gave it to him, I think. He's got it.
Well, Evan, you're right there. What do you think? Has he made that?
He's half a football.
Think he's got it?
Oh, they're calling it fourth down.
Calling it fourth and a half a ball.
I'll be honest. I think that's a generous spot right there as well. I didn't think that he was that close.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised they're not bringing the chains out to measure
that's
that.
really surprising.
That because it's so close, it's borderline, and they're going to go for it.
Surprised he's just not on the center and just taking it straight ahead.
I don't know if he made
got
it.
No, they stopped him.
Don't think so. Oh, and we're right.
There's a late flag.
You saw a New Bedford player go flying to the ground.
That's a late hit.
That's
just
another bad penalty.
Undisciplined football right there.
Dylan Caney went flying to the ground, number 74.
That's inexcusable.
Yeah, that's just frustration right
Yep.
there.
Disappointing.
Yep, undisciplined.
Because you got it stopped, you're going to get the ball. And then once now he goes down, you're going to watch it on your left side.
He pulled him
And
down
there
by
he
his
goes.
face mask, it looked like.
And you're right. You know, it is frustration, but, you know, you save that for the sidelines.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't do it on the field because you just had the stop, and now look what happens. You give New Bedford 15 yards, and they can just run the clock out now. So 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. Costa keeps it, and a tackle cannot be made, although they will stop him in the backfield. They probably should have lost about 5 extra yards there, so they got lucky, the Whalers.
Very lucky to make it back to the original line of scrimmage, which it looks like where he made it, but could have been an easy loss of 5. But the clock continues to tick, and that's what New Bedford really wants to have happen now, and
Coach
run the
Golden.
ball and get it done.
Yep, they got the win in
Yep.
hand, so they're just letting that clock tick away here.
Yeah, no reason to try any Hail Mary passes or anything and chance interceptions and turnovers. Just hold that ball and you know, pound it on the ground. And I say that, they're
And
now
they go
going
to
to
the
pass it. As we said, we can expect everything and anything on Thanksgiving.
When you put a ball off the flat, it's almost like a sweep sometimes.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, you're trying to get the same thing.
They picked up the first down.
Just to be showing yardage,
Actually, they're going to be short.
3rd down
You have
and
about
1
3rd and
down.
1.
Oh, yeah.
But again, just a safe, conservative.
I'm impressed with Costa. He's
See it on the screen here.
He
Nice
has-
little
he
quick
has a
pass.
good eye.
Ball is
He has a
poised
Nice
at the
clean play, as you said,
34
Chris.
yard line.
He can throw.
Clock continues to roll, coming up on 6.5 to play, and this one 3rd and 1.
3rd down.
Ball at about the
25 yard line.
25-yard line. And they'll hand it off to number 45. That's Jordan Ankrum. And the ball is out, picked up by the Hilltoppers, right at the goal line.
And it is picked up by the
Mitch, I was about to
Hilltoppers.
say, I don't know
I
what it
think
is
it was
about
in the end
that.
zone.
I don't know what it is about that left side, but
I
they
don't know.
continue to run that way.
have to
And
see
this
the
time he
replay
ends
on
up
this.
dropping the ball. I think he's going to be out probably around maybe the 2 when he ended up getting it. He's just getting so much space
Yeah.
to the outside. Now he cuts it back. He gets hit
Right here,
there
it's
when
got
comes out.
stripped out,
Football,
and it was
first down
recovered
and
right
10.
at the basically
They are
almost at the
inside
goal
yard
line.
Looks like they got him down at the 2.
So talk about a long drive coming here for Durfee. If they are to,
Yeah,
if
they're going to
they are
have to go
score.
98 yards now, you know.
And again, I think you've got to be ready for New Bedford pressure too, because the safety.
Flugel's
Good
still
app.
in the game on career, so.
New Bedford scrambling on defense. And the run not doing much at all.
Yeah, a little unorganized by New Bedford, not knowing what kind of personnel they wanted out in the field, so.
So, you know, they're trying to get different people to play in this game and different numbers that we have not seen all afternoon trying to get in there. The consistent number has been number 9,
Yeah.
and he's been
He
at
hasn't
number
left the field.
18 all day.
It's been tremendous.
Well, the Hilltoppers grab about 3 yards on that carry, so it's 2nd and 7 coming up. And DeMello trying to get some more yards out of it.
Carry for the Hilltoppers.
And it appears he will pick up.
Also, clock
3
continues
more.
to tick away. Just about 5 minutes to go in the ball game.
It'll be about 3rd and a yard, it looks like, Evan.
Yeah, so he actually picked up maybe about 5 or 6 there. Not a bad carry. So 3rd and short, 5 minutes to play in this one.
Quarterback.
And they're going to pound it right across, which should be for a 1st down. And the chains will move, so Durfee gets out of the hole that they were in there. And they'll have a little more room to work with.
I'll tell you, they can't have more than a half a dozen first downs in the game. What do you think?
Yeah, I have to agree with that, and most of it obviously coming in the second half, where the first couple of drives go into the air more than anything else. But probably
Balls at about the
maybe 1 or 2
11-yard
in the
line.
run department,
First down,
I would
Durfee.
say.
Well, as you said, 15 total yards in the first half. That can't amount to many first downs.
No, absolutely right.
So So 1st and 10 from about the 11-yard line. Going to pass it to the far side right. Double coverage on Correa.
He stopped, not thinking he was going to get the ball. He's going to continue to throw.
He would have outrun them.
Maybe he was thinking they had a full house backfield.
Yep.
Maybe thinking run.
Break it
I'll
off.
go slow, let them cheat up a little bit, and then I'll burn right by him, and by then it wasn't.
Let's see the replay. You're right. That checkup is what did it right there, because he would have plowed right past the defenders. You see the crowds on both sides thinning out a little bit as we're getting, as we're now into afternoon.
Closer to dinner time.
I'm sure these players are anxious for a big feast right now, working up an appetite.
And it'll be a little bit sweeter in the town and the city of New Bedford today again.
Yes.
7 years in a row, and counting.
And more importantly for New Bedford, Big 3 champs, because they will have been 2-0 in the league after they finish off this game.
Yeah, I mean, for what that's worth, no one made the playoffs from the Big 3, so it's...
I know, we said we'd touch on that. Chris, what are your thoughts on the Big 3? I am not a fan, because when you have 3 teams in one league, you only have 2 opponents, and the rest of your games don't really mean much. I look at the Mayflower League with Diamond and Conley, and they're always playing league games.
Yeah, the scenario of that, I found out being a coach there, you got to remember it's not just football. You're going to have to play these teams in other sports, like basketball, like baseball, like softball, and some of these other teams don't want to do that. And so they can't get into the Old Colony League, or they can't get into the SEC or other divisions to try to get it. So it's not just football. It has to do with the other sports as well. So
I mean, they created the Big 3 because no one wanted to play us
Correct.
anymore. The
Correct.
same with you,
Yeah.
Brockton, and
Right.
it's...
But it's not the same anymore. as
It's
you said.
not.
No.
It's not.
No, and in this format style before the Thanksgiving Day, that's different too. I know we spoke with Coach Golden at the Gridiron Hall of Fame. He didn't really care for it. He says, "Hey, I'm following what they tell me to do, but I'd rather have the playoffs after Thanksgiving."
That's right.
And that's the way maybe it should be. But they've come up with a new system. They have to stick with it. They're going with it. That's the way it goes.
So we're going to have a 3rd and about 8, maybe a short 8 here, 3rd and long 7, short 8 coming up for the Hilltoppers. Brian DeMello with that last carry only picked up a couple of yards. And they'll take a set and wait for the snap. Here we go. And they hand it off again.
Nice.
DeMello has some room to run, and he'll scamper out of bounds at the 35, and it's a first down for Durfee.
I'll tell you, he's built like a little fire plug, isn't he?
He is. And we have seen this quite a few times this season. He hasn't had a great game today because New Bedford's defense has really been sniffing out the run and protecting against it. But DeMello had some great games this season.
Yeah, you see the end pinched in, and he was wide open space there.
Very small, low to the ground. You got to like those running backs.
Yep.
He's one of those guys that refuses to go down. Hard to tackle. So a fresh set of downs for Durfee. 1st and 10 from the 35. Looking to pass.
Oh, yeah,
Pressure
Correa.
coming. They were looking for Correa, and he's going to throw it away.
Had Correa open a little bit toward the end of the play, but by that time he was flushed well out of the pocket.
And the pressure coming there from number 60, Ezekiel Iraheda.
Well, Evan and Mitch, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to go down onto the field and maybe get one of our New Bedford guys and have an interview with him. But I want to thank you for having me on here on Fred TV. It's been a pleasure. It's been enjoyment. And obviously, happy Thanksgiving to you two guys.
Same to you, Chris.
Enjoy
Thanks
it.
so much for joining us.
Thanks a lot for having me
Good
on.
talking to you.
So, Mitch, we got 2 minutes and 54 seconds left in this one.
Yeah, it's kind of the way I saw the game unfolding. I think we talked a little bit about off the air before we came on, and unfortunately, it's just the way the Hilltop season's unfolded for it's Groundhog Day. It's 3 years in a row now. So,
and the thing is this happens to a lot of schools.
Yep.
I remember when Nauset came in here, I was speaking to one of their guys, and they were one of the classes of their league. Them in Barnstable. Barnstable's a powerhouse too, and they've had some tough seasons recently. Nauset, going through losing players and trying to rebuild. So, these things do happen, and unfortunately for Durfee, it'll be back-to-back losing seasons, winless seasons. But, hey, what can you do? Long pass across the middle here, looking for Colby Cabral. He comes down with the football at the 40-yard line.
Great ball. Great ball. He got behind the defenders along that New Bedford sideline. Hung up there a little bit, but he ran under it, made the catch.
Maybe got a little help there from the wind, too.
Yeah.
It's still blowing that way.
That's a heck of a pass.
And that's, again, Vieira showing off his arm, just a sophomore, getting it. Wow, that was a great pass.
To go.
But, yeah, getting back to the scores, before the game, we had put down our predictions. You had said 35-14. Last year it was actually 36-14, I believe. I had said 24-19, both of us in favor of New Bedford. Correa with the ball with a nice run. Taken down at the 20. It's another first down.
Durfee does have some talent coming back next year, too, especially in the skill positions. You get the quarterback, who's a sophomore, as you mentioned, Mike Correa and Colby Cabral, both juniors. So, they got something to work with next year.
Well, coming up on 90 seconds left in this one, and the Hilltoppers are determined to give their fans something to cheer about. So we'll see if they can find the end zone here as the clock continues to wind down. Ball at the 20, 1st and 10 to go. Vieira looking to pass on first down, going across the middle. He has Joe Haneen, and Haneen fighting his way for the touchdown.
All right, good for him.
That's got to feel good. It's been a long time coming. Joe Haneen, a senior this year, so he goes out with a bit of a
that was a
bright
nice
spot.
ball. You got some cricket numbers up there now, so it's a good feeling for the Hilltoppers. They're going to go winless. You want to score at least some points in the Thanksgiving Day game.
Exactly, and as I said, Haneen is a captain. He's a senior, and this is his last game as a Hilltopper, or at least in football, because he does play other sports. But you saw in the replay there, he refused to go down, and he was able to get into the end zone.
And in the spirit of Jason Cummings, that's where the effort comes in. So
exactly,
good for him.
So Vieira looking for the extra point. They're going to fake it. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Do you call that a 2-point conversion attempt, or do you call it a bad snap? I don't know. That was really an interesting formation and play call there. But, hey, nonetheless, Durfee did get a score. They avoid the shutout. Sure, they're not going to win this game, but at least they're able to find the end zone.
Yep, I'm glad for especially the seniors, their last game. Obviously, you don't want to go out that way, but you also don't want to get shut out, so
That's
good
for
for them.
That's for sure. So that brings us now 1 minute and 13 seconds left in this one. Durfee will kick off to New Bedford. Or as we said, anything can happen. You try an onside kick? Why not, right? What do you got to lose?
Yep, get the ball back one more time. And they got some hands guys out there too, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Hey, I say it's worth a shot. Again, we've seen basically everything you can see in one football game in this one. A lot of crazy things. So
I'd pooch it up there and see what happens.
So the score now 33-6 in favor of New Bedford, and as I said, just over a minute left in this one. They will kick off. Deep kick. And it's going to roll into the end zone for a touchback. That's a great kickoff there.
Well, New Bedford out of the ball in the 20 to start this final drive of the game.
And I believe both teams still have a few timeouts to burn, so one would think New Bedford's probably not going to just take a knee. They'll probably try to just run the ball.
Yep, and I don't think Durfee will burn any of their timeouts either. They'll just
well, there's really no point in it. It's not like it's a one-possession game.
Exactly. What was the athletic director, Victor Pereira's prediction?
Victor had said 21-14 in favor of Durfee. And as the sound bites showed earlier as well in pregame, Mike Correa from New Bedford, the AD, he did not offer a prediction because he said you never know what's going to happen. It's too hard to offer a prediction.
Leave it to Mike to straddle the fence, though.
Very political decision right there. Clock continues to wind down. 45 seconds left in this one. We see the fans starting to file out of the stadium. Some of them still staying put, and some of them getting an early exit, maybe try to beat some of the traffic. And they'll run it one more time. That's
That
number
should
34.
Just about do it as he goes down that sideline.
He's still on his feet. And he goes out of bounds, or it appeared to.
Pick up about 50 there.
I know. Yes, he did go out of bounds, so.
Clock stop. There'll be at least one more play anyway.
What you don't want if you're Durfee, not that it really makes a difference in the overall outcome, is to allow a score here with, oh, the clock's winding down. So he did not go out of bounds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and that'll do it for another Thanksgiving Day game here between Durfee and New Bedford, the century-old rivalry. We always see basically everything and anything in these games, Mitch. And
we did again today.
We did again today, as you said. New Bedford will end the season 5-6, winning 4 of their last 6 games, and Durfee will drop to 0-11, another winless season.
Yeah,
what can you say? These things happen. It's just part of the game, part of football, and you know, both teams, I'm sure, will try to improve next season as well.
Yep, just got to, you know, they got to turn it around somewhere. I don't know where it starts. If it's the coach, the players, you know, there's got to be something that, you know, we can flip the switch here and get some W's, because it's getting a little old. And
as we said, though, the good news is that we do have some players returning this year.
Yep.
And should I say next year?
Correct.
We will have, you know, plenty of returning players, and so at least there'll be some chemistry because they will have been familiar with working with each other.
Exactly right. You know, you have a quarterback who's learning the system. Started, the last 6 games, I believe. So he'll have that under his belt going into next season with 2 senior receivers to throw the ball to. You know, hopefully they can turn it around and get some W's.
Well, the final score from this one, New Bedford 33, Durfee 6. New Bedford wins the Big 3. They go 2-0 in league play this season, and they have made it lucky 7. They've won 7 consecutive Thanksgiving Day games. That goes back to November 2006. My senior year at Durfee was the last time Durfee was able to win on Turkey Day.
Yeah, I got a couple more years on you, but I've seen a lot of these games, and unfortunately, they're not always. We're not always on the winning end, but you know, we never quit. That's not in Fall River's makeup. So you know, we will bounce back, and you know, I'm looking forward to next year.
And that's true. You never quit. The fans stayed. Most of them stayed for the whole game. And regardless of the outcome, everybody will always support their team. You know, it's like that at all levels of sports and in any sport. You will always have the support of your fans and your family. So, once again, final score here from Mack Aldridge Field at Durfee High School. New Bedford Whalers 33, Durfee Hilltoppers 6. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. For Mitch Lown, all the camera crews behind the scenes. We're going to head to commercial here. I'm Evan Massey. This has been a fun time. And take a quick timeout, and we'll be right back. Back here at Mack Aldridge Field, we have some post-game sound. We're heading down to field level, where Chris Santos is caught up with one of the New Bedford Whalers' stars of the game.
Well, thanks, Evan and Mitch. I'm here with one of New Bedford's outstanding players this afternoon, Hunter Flugel, a junior here for New Bedford. And Hunter, usually we talk to you about the offensive side of the ball. Today it was the defensive side of the ball. You had an outstanding game of not one, just covering Michael Correa, but 2, big interception on a fake punt. Congratulations on the win. First, talk about the coverage of Mike Correa.
Well, we knew going into the game that he was the best receiver and probably the best player on the field for them. So we had to double team him a lot, and my job was just to jam him and just stay with him the whole time, and I tried to do my best at that.
Yeah, you look like you're knocking him off the line. You had Kevin Nunes behind you just in case he got behind you. That was the game plan pretty much for the whole day?
Yep, the whole game.
Let's talk about now that fake punt. Did you know it was coming? We thought it up there that it was an opportunity for them to do it. You were right on it. You read it. Great interception.
Yeah. I saw that the receiver was off the line, so I knew something was a little different. And then I saw the tight end or whoever it was come at me, and I just like the coaches teach me, just to get the ball at the highest point.
Well, that's Hunter Flugel and a Turkey Day and a special one for you, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy Thanksgiving at home. And Mitch and Evan, I'm going to send it back up to you guys here with
Thanks, Chris. Great stuff. And you said it right. Flugel was definitely a player in this game. He made plays on defense. He made plays on offense. It was really just a great game for him and the Whalers.
Yeah, I mean, the quarterback, DeBrus, had a great game as well, but in my mind, Flugel was the MVP of this game.
For sure.
He stopped the best player that Durfee had, and, my hat's off to him. It was a tough assignment, and he came through with it.
Final thoughts, Mitch, as we wrap up Thanksgiving Day 2013.
I just want to say thanks for having me here. I enjoyed it. Wish the outcome was different, and maybe next year.
I think we're trying to get the coach for an interview, so we will we'll stay here as Chris is rallying for Coach Golden, and we'll be turning it down to field level just very shortly. Once again, if you're just tuning in, we just wrapped up the Thanksgiving Day game. I'm Evan Massoud, joined by Mitch Lown, and the final score from today was 33-6 in favor of New Bedford. Chris is standing by down on the field, so we'll turn it back down to Chris Santos, who's standing by with the Whalers coach. Appears we're having some technical problems with the wireless mic out on the field, so we're going to correct that and see if we can get back down to Chris and Coach Golden. And we'll see if we still have some sound down there. Okay, we're heading it back down to Chris.
I'm now here with Assistant Head Coach Harry Lowe and Offensive Coordinator with Mark DeBrittle. And Harry, congratulations and a good, happy Thanksgiving. New Bedford victory here this morning.
It's always good to get that victory on Thanksgiving, and it's special for our kids, especially our seniors this year, because it also gives us the Big 3 title, which we worked very hard for, starting way back in July when you're in the weight room. And, you always say, too, Dennis sends us messages all the time, 180 days till Brockton and 230 days till Brockton. And it paid off for us this year, and we're proud of our kids.
Well, coming into this game, very cold, very windy. Was there a game plan you wanted to establish first? Maybe the run, then the pass, or you just said, hey, let's do what we've been doing, and we'll see how it goes?
We really wanted to establish a running game. We felt that we could run the ball against them today, and once that happened, we knew that would open up the passing game. And when we got out here and we saw the wind, when we were doing our pregame warm-ups, we knew that going into the wind, we could have trouble throwing the ball. So it was going to be one of those days where you had to pick your spots where you're going to throw.
We just talked with Hunter Flugel, one of the defensive specialists here. What a game he had covering Michael Correa, and he talked about, it was a game plan to get it, and obviously Noon's behind him, so pretty much blocking him off the line. What a performance by him.
Yeah, I mean, we worked on that all week long with Kevin playing over the top on him because we knew he had a great game against Quincy. He had like 15 catches, 280 yards, 3 touchdowns. We knew if we could take him out of their offense, they were going to struggle today. And Hunter did a great job with him, and Kevin over the top really took him out of the game.
Well, Harry, once again, a long-time coach here. Another victory you on Thanksgiving. I'm sure the turkey's going to be well tasted with you, Dennis Golden, and the rest of the staff.
Yeah, the turkey will taste, great again this year. And for 35 years, it's still going strong here. So it's great to have the victory on Thanksgiving Day. Thank you.
That's Assistant Coach Harry Lowe here in Durfee. And Mitch and Evan going to send it back up to you guys. And once again, happy Thanksgiving to all of you.
Thanks, Chris, and same to you and your family as well. So that was Harry Lowe, one of the coaches for the Whalers. And, he said it right as well. Now that the game's over, everybody's going to focus on turkey and stuff in their faces.
Mine's ready. I'm ready to go.
All right, well, that'll do it from Mac Aldridge Field, Thanksgiving Day Football 2013. Your final score, New Bedford 33, Durfee 6. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.